Scouting at home, the Rochester Raging Rhinos played host to the Seattle Sounders, the only team to beat the Rhinos in the past 2 months. It was the second meeting of the season, and the Rhinos, hot on a 4-game winning streak, were looking to continue that streak in front of their hometown fans. Looking for the win, they only walked away with a single point, as Seattle took a 1-0 lead into halftime, but 20 minutes after coming back from the first frame, the Rhinos found the scoreboard.
Goal kick from Burpo. Ball flighted through midfield all the way down to the Rhino 35. Rivas up, heads it back to the midfield line. Settled there by Wilson, touching it off to Bolanos, and looking for the through ball, slots it up the right side. Martinez at the near end of the 18 after it. Down to the 10, here's a cross on the 6. Keep it, go!
More than enough chances. One goal the Rhinos were able to put into the back of the net as Preston Burpo and his defense kept the Sounders in the match. Escaping with only a point, the Rhinos still remain unbeaten over their past 5 games. Tonight, the Rhinos take on the Minnesota Thunder. This will be the second meeting between these two sides in the past 10 days, and the start of another 3-game long road trip. The Rhinos escaped with a narrow 1-goal victory last time they saw Minnesota, but Minnesota is greatly improved since that day, having come from behind to convincingly beat MLS's Real Salt Lake and tying the second-place Montreal Impact. Can the Rhinos continue their unbeaten streak, or will they start this road trip with a loss? We'll find out in 90 minutes. And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Broadcast Central. My name is Tom Craver, stuck in the middle of your radio here tonight as the Rhinos getting set to take on the Minnesota Thunder. Welcome to a countdown to kickoff, and thank you so much for joining us on this Monday night. Well, the Minnesota Thunder are the opponents. The Rhinos so far are 5-1-1 all-time against the Thunder. Of those 5 wins, 2 of them have come on the road in Blaine, Minnesota, and one of the ties, the Rhinos actually have never lost in Minnesota. Let's hope they can continue that streak tonight as they bring a 5-game unbeaten streak into tonight's match. They want to carry some positive momentum as this upcoming weekend they have a road trip in Virginia, starting off with the first place Richmond Kickers. A lot on the line for tonight's match, as the Rhinos, if they win tonight, will earn 3 points and draw equal with the Kickers going into Friday night's match. That would be the battle of the 2 first-place teams. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. When we continue on the Raging Rhinos pregame show, we'll take a look at the tail of the tape between these two sides, the Thunder and the Rhinos. Stay with us, won't you? This is a countdown to kickoff, the Rochester Raging Rhinos pregame show on the all-new Fickle 93.3 FM.
What if you celebrated getting things done in your office the way you celebrate on the field?
We won the pitch. It'll be our biggest client ever.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe some celebrations are best left on the field. But when you hear this, you'll know things are getting done. To learn more about how Nextel can help you get more done, call 800-NEXTEL-9 or visit Nextel.com. Nextel. Done.
We lead very busy lives these days. So many demands, so much stress. There's just not enough time to get everything done. Come home to stress-free apartment living at Blueberry Hill. Luxury and excellence are built right in. Amenities above and beyond other rental units are included. Concierge service is just a phone call away. Let them take care of you. Call 889-7250 and make an appointment and see why Blueberry Hill makes life worth living.
Yes, this is my Beamer. You can tell from the hand-waxed hood right down to the Toyo Proxys TPT. That's TPT for Total Performance Touring Tire. I wouldn't settle for anything less. When I switched to Toyo, I got high-performance handling that hugs the road at all speeds, wet or dry. And they're so quiet, I can hear the engine, not the road. Okay, I'll let you in on a little secret. If you promise not to tell anyone, you save some money. Try them for yourself.
Toyo Proxys tires are at Murphy's Tire, Niagara Street, Canandaigua, and Tire World, Empire Boulevard, Webster. Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
A 3-pointer in basketball, a hat trick, hockey, a Triple Crown and Horse Racing. The best things always come in free. Well, through Saturday, Auto Depot USA, 3-time consecutive Rochester Choice Award winner, will triple your down payment or trade-in allowance. Shop Rochester's best selection of late model, low mileage, quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And right now, if you put $500 down, Auto Depot USA will make it $1,500. Or if you have a vehicle worth $500, Auto Depot will make it worth $1,500. Plus, every vehicle from Auto Depot USA is backed by our 3-day, 500-mile, no questions asked money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? This Saturday, score big at Auto Depot USA, where we'll triple your down payment or trade-in allowance. Call 663-2233 or get to 800 Westridge Road between Dewey and Mount Grade in Rochester. Auto Depot USA. Unbeatable prices. Unbeatable reputation. Triple your down or trade-in up to $500 with approved credit. See dealer for complete details.
To a countdown to kickoff. This is the Rochester Raging Rhinos pregame show. My name is Tom Craver here at the High Falls Studios, the very busy High Falls Studios tonight. Big concert going on or something, but a bigger game going on out in St. Paul, Minnesota, as the Rhinos getting set to take on the Minnesota Thunder. This will be the second time these two teams have seen each other. The Rhinos coming on the upside of a 1-0 decision just a few weeks ago at Frontier Soccer Stadium. Minnesota comes in tonight in 10th place, 18 points on the season so far. Their record is 4 wins, 5 losses, 6 ties. Interesting enough, they have as many goals for as they do have against, and that is 23. 23 goals scored, 23 goals allowed. On the other end of the field, of course, the Rhinos tied for second place with Montreal. They have 29 points. Their record, 9 wins, 5 losses, 2 ties, the second best record in the USL First Division. They have 26 goals for, tied for first place, the most potent offense in the league, tied with Vancouver, and 14 goals against, and that's tied for the second stingiest defense in the league, and hey, you guessed it, tied with Vancouver for that one as well. So the Rhinos in Vancouver, when they square up, whoa, that's going to be a close one. But again, the Minnesota Thunder in town tonight, scouting out these two sides. Overall, the Rhinos in the regular season at least own the Thunder. 4 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie in the regular season. Toss the postseason in there, and the Rhinos improve over the Thunder to 6-2-1 all time. Their only loss when in Minnesota was in the '99 championship match. The Rhinos losing the sequel to the first championship that they had taken with the A-League. Scouting out the Thunder, their leading scorer, Johnny Menyengar, he's got 8 goals and 1 assist in the season, good for 17 points. He sits near the top of the USL First Division point getters board. Other people to be dangerous for in the offense for Minnesota. Look out for rookie Aaron Payne. He's got 4 goals so far on the season. Minnesota Thunder veteran Duncan Tarley, 3 goals on the season. Another rookie, Kiki Lara, and former Columbus Crew member Jeff Mateo. All of them dangerous in the midfield. Lara and Mateo getting a bunch of assists for the Thunder this season, but the Rhinos aren't without their weapons. Kirk Wilson is their leading scorer, 7 goals, 2 assists for 16 points, only 1 point behind Menyengar for Minnesota. Still the Rhinos' leading goal and point getter on the season with the 16 points. Ball and Martinez and a whole bunch of others contributing for the Rhinos this year. Over a dozen players have goals for the Rhinos this season. So overall, solid team performances, no real leaders, at least as of late. Yet still getting the job done thanks to great teamwork and thanks to a good defense and goalkeeping combination. Scott Vallow in the pipes for the Rhinos. In his 14 games, he's got 11 goals against on 110 shots that he's seen so far. That's good for a 0.79 goals against average. He is the second best keeper currently in the USL First Division. On the other side of the field, his counterpart for Minnesota, Joseph Warren. 14 games played, he's allowed all 23 goals the Thunder have allowed. His goals against is a 1.64. Well, Minnesota fell in the last match, a narrow loss, a gritty match. 6 yellow cards, 1 red card, 27 fouls total throughout that match. But the Rhinos win it on a beautiful header just in the beginning of the second half by midfielder Kirk Wilson, who threw his whole body into that one and managed to make a nice arc and a rainbow and right into the upper corner of the net. So Kirk Wilson definitely looking for the back of the net tonight on this road trip to Minnesota. The Rhinos outshot Minnesota last time out 17-8, and 11 of those were on target. And we haven't seen that from the Rhinos over the past few matches. So looking to get back on that on-target track here tonight. 3 points out of first place. The Rhinos take on first place Richmond on Friday. Battle for first place or a battle for tie for first place. We'll see what happens. When we continue on the Rochester Raging Rhinos pregame show, we'll look at the Rhinos' upcoming busy schedule and how they sit near the top of the table and how they take on first place Richmond. Thanks for listening. More to come still. This is the Raging Rhinos pregame show on the all-new Pickle 93.3 FM.
The Connolly Printing Company congratulates the Rochester Raging Rhinos on their 10th anniversary season. Just like the Rhinos, at Connolly Printing, they continue to strive for excellence. They've been serving Rochester for over 100 years, and their goal is meeting today's sophisticated printing demands head-on. Connolly Printing's technology and computer graphics, pressroom and bindery equipment, as well as their employees' expertise, will guarantee you're a satisfied, loyal customer well into the future, turning your printing nightmares into creative dreams. Connolly Printing. 426-4150.
I'm Tom Rizzotti from Mallier Chevrolet Buick. You know, the guy who always says yes. Now with a lot more to say yes to. Mallier is Rochester's newest GM certified used car dealer with more than 200 General Motors certified used vehicles in stock. And with bumper-to-bumper warranty on these vehicles, you'll have the same peace of mind you have with a new car or truck. So take the short drive to Mallier in Honeoye Falls or check us out at Mallier.com.
Mallier Chevrolet Buick. Yes.
Getting older can be a harrowing experience. Staying in shape just gets tougher. Why not join the downtown Harrow East Athletic Club? Memberships include aerobics, yoga, Pilates classes, whirlpools, sauna, indoor pool, squash, racquetball, 2 weight floors, cardio, indoor track, free parking, the list goes on. Don't give in, get tough. Join the Harrow East today, and they'll even waive the initiation fee. Call 546-1000. That's 546-1000, and we'll see you at the Harrow East.
From muscle cars to the SSR to Malibu and the new Cobalt. For generations, Chevy has been breaking the rules. Now we're rewriting them. For the first time ever, we're proud to announce the Chevy employee discount for everyone. You pay what we pay for almost every 2005 Chevy vehicle. Not a cent more. The Chevy employee discount for everyone. At participating dealers only. Take delivery by 7505. See dealer for details. See your local Chevy dealer.
And welcome back to the Rochester Raging Rhinos pregame show. My name is Tom Craver. Thank you so much for joining us on this countdown to kickoff as the Rhinos getting set to square away against the Minnesota Thunder for the second time this season out at James Griffin Stadium in Minnesota. Well, the Rhinos on their quest for the top of the table we're just about to see the top of the table. This is the first of a 3-match road set for the Rhinos this week. Tonight again, of course, at Minnesota. 4 nights from now on Friday, the Rhinos will be taking on the Richmond Kickers, currently in first place. The Rhinos, as of right now, just 3 points behind. With a win tonight, they will be tied with Richmond going into that match. Could be quite interesting how that one would shape up. Not jumping ahead of ourselves, do they not win, they have a chance to tie Richmond for first place when they get down there, because 3 points for the win, if they were to win against Richmond, would definitely put them ahead. The Rhinos seeing the 11th place Virginia Beach Mariners the very next night, Saturday night. That would be the 23rd, as the Rhinos on that Virginia Southern Tour road trip there. Potential on this road trip for 9 points. The Rhinos would love to take 9 points away, but idealistically, be good to see at least a win in Virginia Beach and at least a tie in both Minnesota and Richmond. That would keep them in great shape as far as staying to the top of the table. And Montreal, of course, don't forget, hot on their heels with 29 points as well. They'd love to catch up to the Rhinos or even surpass them. Then the Rhinos come back home a week from Saturday. That would be July 30th. The Richmond Kickers coming back for the sequel. That would be a 7:35 kickoff. Again, Saturday night, July 30th at Frontier Soccer Stadium. If the Rhinos come on top of this road trip with some serious points, 6 or more, That could be a battle to get Richmond back up to first place. That could be a very interesting match. The very next night, Colorado Rapids come to town for a friendly against the Rhinos, and that following Wednesday, just 3 nights later, U.S. Open Cup action against the Metro Stars. So another full week in store for the Rhinos after they culminate this 3-match road trip over the course of the next 6 days. More to come still on the Rochester Raging Rhinos pregame show. We're going to take a look around the USL First Division, see what happened this past weekend. Don't go away. This is Rhino Soccer on the all-new Fickle 93.3 FM.
Wouldn't it be great if every tool you bought were covered by a lifetime warranty? Chase Pitkin includes one at no charge with every tool purchase. If you're not completely satisfied, return any tool with your receipt and we'll repair it, replace it, or refund your money. And you'll find we carry a huge selection of tools from the best names: DeWalt, Porter Cable, Bosch, Delta, Stanley, and more. All at great prices. The lifetime tool warranty, only from Chase Pitkin.
Hot dog. No one makes them better than Flyco's. Hot dog. Hometown favorite from Flyco's. The flavor is right. In every bite. Cover 'em with lots of everything nice. Everything you like. Come on, taste one. No one makes a hot dog like Flyco's. 'Cause how we make 'em makes 'em great.
Make a game night this season into a game weekend with the Clarion Riverside Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Rochester near Frontier Field, Blue Cross Arena, restaurants, shopping, and more. The Clarion Riverside Hotel is offering sports fans a special $69 spectator rate. Call the sales office at 546-6400 for details. That's 546-6400. The Clarion Riverside Hotel, Main Street, downtown, right on the banks of the Genesee River, and just a free kick away from Frontier Field.
Does your golf game need a change of scenery? Leave the same old courses behind and head to Lakeside Country Club in Penn Yan on scenic Cayuga Lake. It's one of the most beautiful courses you'll ever play. Memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Just call PGA Pro Bob King at 315-536-7252 to book your tee time. The course is located near many of the Finger Lakes' finest wineries, so make a day out of it and enjoy the best that the Finger Lakes has to offer, on the course and off. Call Lakeside Country Club, 315-536-7252.
Hey fans, World Gym Rochester is the official strength and conditioning facility for your Rochester Rhinos, Rattler, Nighthawks, and Amerks. World Gym Rochester is proud to offer personal training packages tailored especially to your needs, including Apex A5 component system that assures you results. The Apex system is customized for you and your needs. Lose weight, improve your health, or just get in better shape. World Gym Rochester and Apex can help you reach your goal. Fun, high-energy group exercise classes like Rep Reebok are offered so you can work out with friends. Spinning, yoga, and Pilates are also great ways to work out and release stress and tension. And to make it more convenient, World Gym Rochester now offers a newly expanded child care hours. For more information, please stop by the gym at 1717 East Avenue, just west of the East Avenue and Whitten Road intersection, or call 271-0440. That's 271-0440.
Back to the Rochester Raging Rhinos pregame show. Thank you for joining me here on a countdown to kickoff. The Rhinos about 10 minutes away now from kickoff against the Minnesota Thunder. Well, those same Thunder were in action this past Friday night against the Montreal Impact, playing host to Montreal, the second place team. Montreal getting on the board early in the 11th minute with a goal from Mauro Biello. Beautiful shot that was... The match was televised on Fox Sports Channel last Friday night. If you'd seen the goal, the keeper the keeper Nicholas Platter for Minnesota dropped the ball. Actually went to try to catch the ball, make a nice stop, and pushed it, redirected it right into the net. Mauro Biello still getting the credit for the goal, but Minnesota got it back. Jay Albert scoring the game-tying goal in the 79th minute as the Thunder draw even with the Impact 1-1. Atlanta and Puerto Rico last Friday night as well, down at Juan Roman Loberal Stadium, in a great crowd of almost 5,000 there in Puerto Rico as the Islanders take the Silverbacks by a score of 4-2. Zuleta getting a pair of goals for Puerto Rico. No avail though as Atlanta taking it to Puerto Rico at home, 4-2 Atlanta, 4-2 over Puerto Rico. The Seattle Sounders and the Toronto Lynx on Saturday evening as Toronto gets 2 quick goals, and Seattle had nothing to do but watch as Welton gets a goal late in the 90th minute, but they fall to the Toronto Lynx, who now have their second victory, and the Lynx, again, 2-1 winners over Seattle at home up in Toronto. Charleston at Virginia Saturday night as well. 1 goal in this one in the 31st minute. Amani Dove, former Rhino, getting the goal for Virginia Beach as they surprised Charleston 1-0. And again, Sunday, Charleston with the back-to-back games in Virginia at Richmond. They got their revenge, getting an own goal, actually, in the 34th minute as Richmond falls to Charleston by a score of 1-0. Some top teams falling, some lower teams surprising. Virginia Beach getting a win and Toronto as well, both against quality sides. Well, that about does it for the look around the USL First Division. Coming up next, Don Stevens will have live play-by-play action from James Griffin Stadium in Minnesota. Thanks for listening, folks. This has been the Countdown to Kickoff. Rochester Raging Rhinos Soccer on the all-new Fickle 93.3 FM.
Gallo and Iacovangelo is a full-service law firm that has been serving the Rochester area for over 30 years. The experienced attorneys at Gallo and Iacovangelo are uniquely qualified to represent you in a variety of areas. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, need to draft a will, or are buying a house, Gallo and Iacovangelo provide you with the abilities of a large law firm, but give you the personal attention you'd expect from a smaller firm. Call them at 454-7145 or visit them online at gallolaw.com. Gallo and Iacovangelo. Progressive thought, traditional values, uncompromising strength.
You know, Arnie, I really admire you.
Well, let me tell you something, Bill. In America, you can have it all.
Yeah, me, I can't even trade in my old car.
Bill, stop being a dairy man and go to Marina Dodge.
When you make a deal, we'll pay off your current vehicle no matter how much you owe. New 05 Dodge Durangos and Ram Quad Cabs, $9,000 off MSRP only at Marina Dodge. 943 Ridge Road between 5 Mile Line and Hart Road in Webster. Call 866-7774 now. Several available at this offer to qualified buyers plus tax, title, and plate fees. All rebates to dealer. Offers not valid in combination.
I'm Tom Rosati from Mallier Chevrolet Buick. You know, the guy who always says yes. Now with a lot more to say yes to. Mallier is Rochester's newest GM-certified used car dealer with more than 200 General Motors certified used vehicles in stock. And with bumper-to-bumper warranty on these vehicles, you'll have the same peace of mind you have with a new car or truck. So take the short drive to Mallier in Honeoye Falls or check us out at Mallier.com.
Mallier Chevrolet Buick. We always say yes.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight in Minnesota, where it's actually a fairly nice night, as a warm temperature been hitting out here in the Midwest also, but today it has cooled off considerably. A one-day respite from the very hot and humid temperatures, and so the Rhinos are here to enjoy it. Yesterday was around 96 degrees, very humid when we came out here for the team to practice, and it was almost unbearable. But today, the temperature hitting only up around the low 80s, and the humidity level way down, so it's just a gorgeous day, and now the heat's going to return tomorrow. So the Rhinos are very fortunate to be here on this particular day and playing this particular night. Glad to have you along as the Rhinos will take on the Minnesota Thunder for the second time this season. For the Rhinos, it is their 17th match of the season, and for the Thunder, their 16th. So the Thunder do have one game in hand on Rochester, but certainly a game that's much more important to the Minnesota Thunder than it would be to the Rhinos. Even though the Rhinos are fighting for the number one spot overall in the league, the Minnesota Thunders are fighting for their playoff lives. As we pass the halfway point of the season, Minnesota is out of a playoff spot at the moment. However, close, only 3 points out of a playoff spot. As tonight here at the Stadium, James Griffin Stadium in St. Paul, Minnesota, these two teams meet for the second time this year. They did play once earlier, and that game was in Rochester, in which the Rhinos came out with a 1-0 lead, 1-0 victory back on July the 8th. All right, talking about the last game for the Rhinos, and that ended up in a tie score with Seattle at home on Friday night. Even though the Rhinos outshot the Sounders 22-8 in that game, still could not finish more than one time in the game and came away with a one-goal tie. And I asked the coach of the Rhinos, Lord Calloway, if he was happy with that result.
Well, it's a good result in so much it keeps us 2 points ahead of Seattle, second in the league, and continues our unbeaten streak. Disappointing that we didn't get the 3, and I thought we deserved to get the 3, or on the balance of the play we should have got the 3. We didn't perhaps deserve it because our finishing was poor and their goalkeeper was absolutely outstanding.
Now, early on, you had so much pressure, so many golden opportunities to score. Should have had probably about 3 goals in the first half anyway. Is that the disappointing part, the finishing you talk about?
Yeah, and I don't think we were sharp in front of goal, and maybe some of that is the fourth game in 8 days factor. But that's probably going to be a factor tonight as well. So when we get those chances, and we probably won't get as many chances tonight, but when we do, we've got to put them away.
As they say, in a case like that, bear down. Is that what you feel too?
Yeah, I think one of the things with fatigue is that it affects the mind, and the mind sometimes, obviously, everything goes. Psychology is the biggest part of the game anyway, and we have to sort of convince ourselves late in games or going into games like this 5th game in 10 days that we're not fatigued, and the mind can play a big part in that, and I have to play a big part in that. Telling the players that, and hopefully they'll believe it, and the tired legs and the nicks and knocks that they've got. They can go through 90 minutes without thinking about it and finish strong. Although I thought, even in the game against Seattle, we finished, it's not like we were dead on our feet. I think it just is that the fact that you're playing so much and the travel in between and, all the guys sleeping in different beds, all that sort of stuff, it tends to catch up. So we have to be alert and strong in the mind, and that's part of my job to get the guys to feel that way. And the more we can do that, and the less we can make them feel that, or give them excuses to feel tired, the better.
And not only the travel part, but also the heat and humidity has really been taking its toll, has it not?
Oh, yeah, we've had our spell a couple of weeks ago in Rochester, and it seems like it's continuing again. The other night it was warm and humid and muggy, and it seems like we might get a break tonight from that. Here in Minnesota, it was horrible yesterday when we got in, and it's supposed to be back to it in the next few days, but it seems like today it might be a little cooler and less humidity, which will be nice. But down in Charleston, down in Raleigh, down in Atlanta, Rochester seems like this year's the same as all those places. It's been really impressive the last month.
Played this Minnesota team once before. What do you remember about that game?
Well, it came made it very difficult for us. Played 4-5-1, as most teams do at Frontier, and we had to work very, very hard to get a result against them. Their goalkeeper played very well that night as well, Warren, and made some good saves, but we prevailed in the end with a great goal, and persistence paid off, and we obviously deserved the result on the balance of the play, but it was difficult like a lot of the games at Frontier have been this year.
Now, Rochester's first look at this stadium here in St. Paul, Minnesota, actually, but you've seen it before. Tell us about the stadium.
Very narrow, 64 if that, probably 63 and a half actually, looking like the way they've marked it out. It's a football stadium with the football lines, pro turf. It's a nice little high school stadium, but not conducive to good soccer, open soccer. So, but we played very well in Atlanta in a similar sized stadium, although that was grass. So we're looking to try and get a similar performance tonight. Same surface that we beat Portland 5-0 on, and hopefully we can. I don't think we'll win too many games 5-0 on the road, but hopefully we can get on top of them early. They've played a lot of games in a few days as well, including an exhibition on Saturday night after playing Friday night against Montreal. So, hopefully we might be able to get at them, and maybe a little tired, and we'll have to see when we get on the park. But the field's the same for both sides. Should be easy to defend for us. A little tougher to open them up, when we go forward.
Injury situation
situation, roster situation, anybody in or out. We rested my trip at the 11th hour because of his knee. Bolanos is going to be healthy, he'll play. All the other Knicks and Knox are fine. All right, and go. Hello.
There is the coach of the Raging Rhinos, that being, of course, Laurie Calloway. As the players are being introduced here at the James Griffin Stadium in St. Paul, Minnesota. They played last year in a facility that was north of the Twin Cities area in Blaine, Minnesota, and it was actually, to be honest with you, it was a much better facility than this one. This is a high school stadium and leaves a little to be desired. It is an artificial surface, so the playing surface is certainly in excellent condition, as it's as I say, an artificial surface, but the rest of the facility is so-so. The locker room facilities are questionable, and the stands are okay, aluminum seating with no backs to the seats or anything, so it's a mediocre high school stadium. All right, we'll be getting underway very shortly from James Griffin Stadium here in St. Paul, Minnesota, as this one is the second meeting of the year between the Rhinos and the Minnesota Thunder, and this is Raging Rhino Soccer on Pickle 93.3 FM.
Oh, no, it sounds like that car needs some help. Take your car where the Rhinos have been taking theirs since 1996 to Tony's Collision, conveniently located at 270 Anderson Avenue in downtown Rochester, just minutes from the Park Ave area. Tony's Collision is family-owned and proud to celebrate their 40th year of providing quality collision repair. Their color match experts guarantee that your car will look like it came straight from the factory. Tony's Collision takes pride in their quality workmanship and the savings they pass on to their customers. They'll even work directly with your insurance company. And until May 5th, Tony's has free Rhino tickets. That's right, come in for a free estimate and tell us you heard this ad and receive one ticket for an upcoming game. When your car's been in an accident, don't settle for anything less. Trust in Tony's. Tony's Collision. Call 473-8776 or stop by 270 Anderson Avenue downtown.
Welcome back to St. Paul, Minnesota, and the Rhinos taking on the Minnesota Thunder at James Griffin Stadium. And again, for the Rhinos, the 17th match of the season. For the Thunder, the 16th Minnesota with a game in hand on the Rochester Americans. Checking the starting lineup tonight, first of all, for the visiting team, and that it would be the Rochester Raging Rhinos. It'll be Scott Vallow in goal. And Vallow comes into this one with an 8-5 in record and a league's second best 0.79 goals against average. Vallow in goal for the Rhinos. The defensive role will include Scott Schweitzer, along with Jonathan Terry. Lennon Steenkamp moves in. Steenkamp's going to be in the midfield. Let's see, we have Palguda, and Sanfilippo will be the other defenders. Then in the midfield, we'll be seeing Stoyan Mladenov, John Ball, Kurt Wilson, and Lennon Steenkamp. Steenkamp is replacing Rene Rivas, who is missing this one out with an injury and is not on the trip. So Steenkamp inserted into the starting lineup. And then up front, we'll have Mauro Carabajal and the return tonight of Jonathan Bolanos. And those two players have been working so well together, Carabajal and Bolanos, and see if they can pick it up where they left off. Bolanos missing the last two out with an injury. For the home team, and that being the Minnesota Thunder, we'll see in goal Joe Warren, the 30-year-old from Minneapolis, and he comes into this one with a 3-5-5 record and a 1.64 goals against average. Warren in goal for the Minnesota Thunder. The defenders will include Brett Brannon, Freddie Juarez, it's Michael Wilson, and Chad Dombrowski. And then through the midfield, Jeff Mateo, Godfrey Tenoff, Jay Albert, and Kiki Lara. And then the forwards, Johnny Mignonga and Melvin Tarley. And the kickoff to be taken by the Rhinos as they'll shoot at the net to my right. Scott Vallow in goal to my left has the sun in his eyes, and he's putting a cap on to shade his eyes a little bit. The Rhinos wearing the black and white striped jerseys with black shorts and socks, and the home team, the Thunder, all in a dark blue. And we're underway tonight from Minnesota. Out of midfield is taken down. Here's Mladenov. Ball in feed is knocked loose, and ball with it chips it into the center circle for Bolanos. He'll body it forward, however, the whistle to stop play, and we'll have a foul being called on the Rhinos. The referee for this game, Jeremy Schroeder. His assistants, Mishan Ahmad Todd and Russell Showweiler, and the fourth official is Robert Peterson. Long ball flighted up the near wing. It's flicked down inside the Rhino 18 and grabbed there by Vallow. Again, Vallow wearing the baseball cap tonight. First time I think I've seen him wear one of those, but has the sun somewhat in his eyes. Now all of a sudden the cloud cover, there's a few small clouds here and there. The clouds shade him as the ball is knocked down. Ball is pushed from behind and it's along the midfield line. Stepping in, Mladenov had it knocked away, but it's recovered by the Thunder. Long chip up the right wing side. On the far wing, carried into Rhino territory. Tenoff crossed along the 18 down in front. Has out to slide in on the ball is Vallow. However, the offside flag in the air on the far side. Anyway, so offside. There's the call against the Minnesota Thunder. Restart for the Rhinos. Vallow placing the ball at his 15th. And as now he's taking the cap off, and all of a sudden the sun comes back out again. He's not going to win that battle. There's a few clouds overhead, but they're very small clouds, and occasionally they will shade the sun. Into Rhino territory, flicked out in front from Younger, but that's pounded high in the air by Schweitzer into the stands on the near side of the field. Throw in for the Thunder down in Rochester territory on the near side from about 15 out. There's the throw it along the near wing. Take it down Sanfilippo. As coming up with the 10 off, but blocked away from him. Sanfilippo takes it back with the left foot, drives it out to around the 35. Picked up again and played along the far side as it's deflected loose into the center circle. Juarez moving in on the ball for the Thunder off on the near wing for Lara. He'll go up the left wing side of the corner, but Younger won't get there, and that rolls out over the end line and creates the goal kick for the Rhinos. And there's Scott Vallow putting that cap back on again. Hard to know whether to keep the cap on or off. So he'll place the ball for the goal kick. Just getting started. Can't see the time clock as this is a television game and they have a scissor lift with a TV camera on it that they've raised right up in front of the score clock. Right through the time, I can see a couple of parts of a couple of numbers, so I have to guess at what the clock is saying. It's headed across midfield into Rhino territory, knotted back into the center circle, popped up in the air again, and flicked by Tenoff forward. Underneath it, Charlie trying to come away, pass over the far wing. Moving down to around the Rochester 25, across along the 18, head ball in by Younger. Bug misses the short side out over the end line, and another goal kick. Another goal kick for the Rhinos. Third minute, no score. As Vallow recovers the ball, and he'll place it at his 6th. Rhinos beginning a 3-game road trip. Playing tonight. Actually, they'll return home for a day before heading down south to Richmond and Virginia Beach. Vallow with the right foot. Low line drive kick through midfield, just barely making it across midfield. Flick on by Ball for Carabellon and into the center circle. Back loose and pushed forward by Steenkamp across midfield, but recovered by the Thunder. It's Juarez through midfield, passed by Younger, deflected and taken back by the Rhinos as Schweitzer knocked that one away. Steenkamp's pass in the center circle, picked off, Thunder have it. Younger spinning out of the left wing side, playing it up the wing for Lara. On the near touchline, sliding in, that's knocked down by Sanfilippo, but still recovered, and knocked loose by the Rhinos, and pass out near midfield, but Warrow steps up and has it into the middle for 35 for Tenoff, high shot in, one bouncer knocked down and pouncing on it is Vallow. That was a ball that was bent down, a low strike on the ball, bent down, and it was short hop by Vallow, bounced off his chest out in front of him, and he pounces on it. The shot was taken by Tenoff. Big shot by the Thunder.
The Slumberland best seats in the house during the first.
Long kick by Vallow, flights it out through midfield. Carabellon up for the header. That's knocked aside on the near wing. Lara drops it back to his defender, and off a left foot played high in the air out on the near wing and into the stands out of play. So it'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos from their own side of midfield. Off on the near wing. Schweitzer getting the ball. He'll give it off to Sanfilippo, who will take the throw-in. Short bounce to midfield for Ball. Head ball by Mladenov across midfield. Back to Ball, but couldn't control it. It's out of bounds. Throw in for the Thunder. At the midfield line. Drop back along the near side. As it bounces away, gets away from Wilson. That's Wilson of the Thunder. So we have a Wilson on each team. Kirk Wilson brings it forward for the Rhinos on the throw-in, but bounced off his foot and recovered. However, given away right again to Sanfilippo. The Rhinos have it. Mladenov along the 35 on the near side. Gets tangled up. Triple team now, and the ball is taken away and dropped back down to the keeper by Mateo. It's a pass forward return to Mateo out around the 20 and has to hustle to get rid of it. The ball flighted up through midfield. Stepping up, Perry heads it back into Minnesota territory. Knocked down in the center circle. Brought away by the Thunder. Into the circle and a long pass forward. Stopped there by Schweitzer as they tried to catch Charlie breaking up the left wing side. Out to near midfield. Kirk Wilson for the Rhinos. Lays it to the outside for Bolanos. He'll roll it along the far touchline. Checking back in the water is Bolanos. Drops it off, and a one touch ahead by Palguda. Turned to the outside again. On the midfield line, Mateo up with the ball. Into the center circle. Plays it out on the near side. Chased down by Wilson. That would be Michael Wilson of the Thunder. Headed away off of the near wing. The right to Lara of the Thunder. Sneaks a pass through to Menyunger. Has it 20 yards out in the middle. Looking around for help. Plays it in the middle, but Kirk Wilson's there for the Rhinos to take it away. Rochester has the ball. Wilson turns it to the outside along the near wing for Sanfilippo. Has it out around the 40. Drops it back. Schweitzer again on the near wing. He'll flight it through midfield into the chest of Wilson, but knocked down and recovered by the Thunder. Juarez dropping it back in the middle, all the way down to the central defender, Brennan. As with the left foot, drives it off on the near wing and into Rhino territory. Menyunger in under the ball. Knocks it down, keeps it in just inside the near touch line. Pass toward the middle for Lara, looking for the return pass. Someone sneaking through, and it rolls out over the end line. Goal kick for the Rhinos once again. Sponsors of these broadcasts each game include Harrow East Athletic Club on the web at harroweast.com. Chase Pitkin, home of the lifetime tool warranty. Golden Memories, the bus company that transports the Rhinos. Call 723-1322. And by Marina Dodge at 943 Ridge Road in Webster. All of those are sponsors of these broadcasts. Cross midfield. Header flicked across the midfield line. Bolanos in the center circle. Carabayal will take it away as he slides into the ball, but knocked aside. Moving in, Milanov poking at it. It is loose and recovered by the Thunder. Lara turning back to the ball. Drops it off. Mike Wilson of the Thunder. Long through midfield. Switching off on the right wing side, but that one sneaking through out of bounds on the far side. And a throw in for the Rhinos on the far side of the field from around their own 35. Early stages of this game just getting underway. 8th minute and no score.
Here comes Thor.
Palguda with the throw in.
Delivery man.
Out across the midfield line. Checking back. Carabayal knocks it down and continuing on. Kirk Wilson for the Rhinos up the left wing side. Pulls it down to the 18 to the 15. Down near the corner. Looking for the ball as it rolls out over the end line. And that off of, well, it sure looked like it was off a Minnesota player. And Wilson arguing with the referee but won't get anywhere as it'll be a goal kick for Minnesota. Kick to be taken by Joe Warren. 6'5", 220, 30-year-old from Minneapolis. Warren's been around for quite a while now.
You can go for a taste of Italy.
Backs up on the ball. Takes a look downfield. And with the left foot, low kick through midfield, coming down to the Rochester 35, and Steenkamp volleys it right back across midfield. Brandon stepping up, and he'll volley it into Rhino territory. Menyunger is taken down, but Charlie has the ball, drops it off. Steenkamp knocks the pass loose, and Sanfilippo will first time it out into the center circle. Stepping up, taken down hard, his ball, and a foul is called on Mike Wilson of the Thunder. Ball is up and okay. John Ball playing today, but might not be playing in the next couple of games, as he's awaiting a ruling from the league on the suspension issued after his game in Atlanta. He is given a 3-game suspension, but on appeal has played the last game and this game, and they'll be making a decision on that appeal tomorrow. So we'll find out if John Ball will be playing the next 2 or not. Off on the near wing, Ball turns back toward the middle, drops it back at the midfield line for Schweitzer. Out the right side, he'll and pass along the near touch line. Coming back to the ball, Sanfilippo as that pops up in the air and a foul is called. So as the linesman indicating a foul, and the referee with his arm in the air says no, the foul is on Minnesota. The Rhinos will have a restart from around the, caught it about the 30 on the right wing side as Milanov. Or the restart is there. John Ball working deep to the corner. Bolanos checking back. Now he turns away. And Milanov is set. Serves it up. Down inside the 6. Booted high in the air by Juarez. Coming down around the 20. Headed back into the box by Wilson. And then it's volleyed away and across midfield. Schweitzer in underneath it. Settles the ball to feet. His own side of midfield. Long on the left wing side. No one flighted over Palguda. And it's into the stands. Throw in on the far side. For the Thunder, quick throw in on the restart, and back is Steenkamp, knocks it out of bounds. Palguda couldn't reach it. So now a throw in for the Thunder down around the Rochester 25 on the far side of the field. Off the right wing side for the Thunder. Moving up for the throw in, Chad Dombrowski. Just a recent signing by the Minnesota Thunder. In fact, they've added a couple of Dombrowskis. Off of the far wing, deflected along the 25, and then volleyed away by Milanov out near midfield, but it's knocked down. The Thunder have the ball again. Back in the center circle, Mike Wilson for the Thunder. To the outside of the near wing, Lara, one touch on the ball, pops it up in the air, coming down around the 20 and headed aside by Schweitzer. Out the far wing, out the far end of the 18 of Palguda, chasing after it with Tarley, and the ball rolls out of bounds to the far side. Throw in for the Thunder once again around the Rochester 35 on the right wing side, and Chad Dombrowski with a throw in. Into Menyonger. Turns trying to draw it out in front. Pass is picked off with control. Darley is it's knocked away. Rhinos have it again. Bolanos dropping it off from Bolanos. Return pass rolls out too far ahead. Out the midfield. That's snuck through and rolls all the way down to the keeper. Scooped up. It is 6 by Vallow. So the Rhino keeper has the ball. Waits for the players to move away. 11th minute here in Minnesota, and scoreless between the Rhinos and the Thunder. Vallow rolls the ball out of the 18 a little bit further. A little bit further. Now Charlie will pressure, so Vallow will just kick it away. Flights it through midfield, down around the 35. Ball settled there. Bolanos, but taken right back by Mateo of Minnesota. Off in the far wing, and Dombrowski pass ahead, deflected away and out of bounds off the Rhinos. So a throw in for the Thunder from their own side of midfield. And the throw to be taken by Jay Alberts. Pass inbounds, and that's kicked away by Palguda. Settled there. Milanov pass forward, but that's headed away again into Rhino territory. Menyonger in under, headed away by Perry, and flicked in the center circle by Steenkamp. Head ball by Lara forward. That's knocked away with a head ball by Steenkamp. And the ball flighted high in the air and into the stands on the far side at midfield. Throw in for the Thunder. Just across the midfield line on the far side. To be taken by Dombrowski. Let the throw in along the right wing side. Into Rhino territory. Getting a foot on it. Perry pushing it out of bounds. Another throw in for the Thunder. This time down around the 30 on the far side of the field. And here's the throw in. Back to Dombrowski. Looks for a cross and gives it off. Turning up the right side into the middle. That's blocked away as the ball rolls out of bounds. Another throw in for the Thunder. And moving up for the throw in will be Brannon. Brett Brannon, the big defender, 6'3", 190 pounds. 22-year-old from Atlanta. Down around the 20 for the throw-in off the right wing side. Backs way up onto the running track. Brett get a long run at the throw-in. And here's the throw-in high in the box. Floater coming down inside. One big hop. Punched up in the air and over the crossbar by Vallow. Nobody got to it with a long throw-in by Brandon. High floater. One hop coming down along the goal line, and Vallow had to be alert to punch it over the crossbar.
All right. Thunder fans, great opportunity.
Corner kick.
Jeff Mateo over to take the corner kick.
For the Thunder, first corner of the match, just off the left wing side. Mateo's service for the back door. That's up the far side, put back in the middle. Up they go, head ball in, up over top by Menyonger. A series of head balls in the middle from Menyonger, and it was up over top of the crossbar by about 2 feet. Well, the Rhinos dodging a bullet there. 14th minute, no score from Minnesota. And as I have it unofficially, the Thunder with 3 shots. The Rhinos have not had a shot as Joe Warren has not been tested as of yet. Down to my right. Vallow with the right foot. They'll drive it out through midfield. Flicked by Kirk Wilson across midfield for Carballal as he gets tied up with Dombrowski, and the ball is out. Throw in for the Thunder. Dombrowski through midfield. Then Younger turning back for the ball. As he's slowed up there, draws it toward the middle, then pushing it to the outside. Back for Palguda. Pops it up in the air in the far wing and into the stands. Throw in for the Thunder. And Younger short with the throw into Mateo. Turning back along the Rochester 35. Feeds it into the middle. Moving up is Juarez. Drops it off for Alberts. And that's blocked away by Kirk Wilson. He'll send it up to midfield. But then it's volleyed right back down to the Rochester 18. Couple of bounces inside the 18. Vallow knocks it down. Rhinos keeper with the ball. Pressuring Menyonger. So Vallow picks the ball up. Moves the players away. Now 15th minute, no score from Minnesota.
Table located in the southwest corner of
with the right foot. Half volley kick by Vallow. Delivers out through midfield. It must be the wind blowing in his face because these balls are not going that far. Vallow kicks a lot further than that usually. Knocked down. Bolanos along the near side. Fakes the kick. Plays it toward the center circle for Steenkamp. It skipped under his foot. And brought away by Tarley of the Thunder. In the center circle. Wilson coming back, but Tarley gets away. Pass in the middle. And offside as Menyonger's in behind. Another offside against the Thunder. Second of the match, so the Rhinos will have a restart from around their own 25.
For kids raffles, go to the promotion table in the southwest corner of the stadium right now.
Vallow still wearing the cap with the sun shining in his face. And Younger finally pressuring. Vallow picks the ball up. And Younger's still in his face. Now he throws it out on the far side to Palguda. With the left foot, drives it out through midfield. Headed back across the midfield line. Steenkamp stepping up, nods it across midfield, and That's taken by the Thunder at the midfield line. Pass on the right side for Charlie as Perry's on him. Charlie can't get away from Perry and knocks the ball down. It rolls to the corner. Perry comes away with the right foot, sends it off of the far wing, but Alberts is there. Takes a crack and hits the outside of the net. Wow! What a rocket shot by Alberts, but hit the outside of the net. Fortunately for the Rhinos, Gallo was there. It looked like he had his hand in the position if that had been on the frame, but just wide hits the outside of the net. And a big shot by Alberts. So a goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include the Clarion Riverside Hotel, close to Frontier Field. Ask about their $69 spectator rate. Passenger Post. Stay posted. Call 442-POST for subscription information. By Mollier Chevrolet Buick, West Main Street in Honeywell Falls, or online at Mollier.com. And by Gallo and Iacovangelo, full-service law firm at 454-7145, or online at GalloLaw.com. Off of the near wing, sliding in Sanfilippo, blocked it away out of bounds off of Lara. So it'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos in front of their own player bench on the near side of the field, just to their own side of midfield, from about around the 45. Here's the throw-in by Sanfilippo to Carabello, settling it off his chest, knocking it down. Whoever brought away by Mateo of the Thunder. Sneaks the ball through. Here's a race for the ball. The offside flag is in the air again. In behind was Charlie. So third offside of the match against the Thunder. And so the Rhinos will have a restart out around their 35. No score, 17th minute. Here at James Griffin Stadium. Rochester with an opportunity of catching Richmond here tonight. 3 points behind the league-leading Richmond Kickers. Dallas kick through midfield, coming down around the 25, headed back toward the middle. As the foul is called in Carabello, he crashes into Mike Wilson as Wilson tried to kick the ball away. So the Kickers on top of the league still with 32 points, have played 18 games. Rochester with 2 games in hand on Richmond. And a chance to, it'll be only 1 game in hand after this one. So should Rochester come up with a victory tonight, they would be tied for first place and still have a game in hand on Richmond. And Younger down with a left foot, boots it, but missed the short side by a mile. Out over the end line, and another goal kick for the Rhinos. Rochester still has not had a shot. As I have it unofficially, 5 shots to none in favor of Minnesota. Rhinos getting no offensive penetration at this point. Here's Mallow, low kick into midfield. Now good at touching it to the outside, but Lara steps up. His feed forward, taken away by Schweitzer, but in turn knocked away again by Lara. And pass in the center circle, sneaking through on the right side to Alberts. Out the right wing, Charlie has it 20 yards out. Takes a shot, chips it in the middle. Bolanos moving in, heads it away. And a foul was called. So a restart for the Rhinos. Very narrow field. As the Rhinos, the restart was a little too quick. The ref says, no, bring the ball back. Rhinos will take some time maybe to get used to perhaps this field, not only because it's an artificial surface, but also with it being a much narrower field than usual. Very narrow. Coach Calloway said he was about 65 wide. So not a whole lot of playing room, and that was certainly not help the Rhinos game. Through midfield, off of the near wing, chipped into Minnesota territory, but flighted over top of Ben Younger and taken by Schweitzer back at his 35 with the right foot. Flights it through midfield. Up they go, and the ball knocked down, brought away by Carabello. Takes it, pulls it across the 25, turns it to the outside on the left wing. Here's Kirk Wilson moving in, shoots, scores! Kirk Wilson over the 18, wants a blast go with the left foot, puts it inside the right post, and the Rhinos draw first blood, taking a 1-0 lead. 20th minute, Kirk Wilson puts it away. There's Rochester out on top. Great feed by Carabello as he catches Wilson breaking in from the left wing side. And Wilson scoring his team-leading 8th goal of the season. Carabello should get an assist.
For Rochester, number 21, Kirk Wilson.
Wilson with the goal.
Number 17, Mauro Carabello.
And Mauro Carabello with the assist. So the Rhinos' first shot of the game, and it's in. Last game, you remember, the Rhinos put about 20 shots away and nothing went in, so maybe it's evening out a little bit here. Is 1 shot, 1 goal tonight for the Rhinos. The ball is played out of bounds on the near side. Certainly Minnesota has had the edge in play thus far. Throw in for the Thunder from their own side of midfield. To be taken by Mike Wilson. On the left wing side, Out to midfield. Lara flicks it in the middle, but then Sanfilippo steps up to head it across the midfield line. Bolanos and Mateo in the center circle. Mateo coming away with the ball. As he sneaks it through, Bolanos gets tugged down. Play goes on. Oh, the whistle did blow, and a foul is called on Mateo. Still have a restart for the Rhinos from their own 35 in the middle, and Kurt Wilson again with a team-leading 8th goal of the season, giving him now on the year 8 goals and 18 points to lead the Rhinos. And Mauro Carvajal with the assist down 2 goals, 4 assists for 8 points on the year. Should have had a goal last game. I thought that he actually got the goal, but they said no, that it went off the defender, and he was not credited with a goal. Foul now on Steenkamp, so a free kick for that foul was on Mladenov, so a free kick for the Thunder from their own 35.
Culver Family Night will take place on July 26th.
The referee talking to the Rochester players about keeping the cleats out as Mladenov came in with a high boot.
Come hang out with your favorite Thunder players, get autographs, and of course,
way out to take the kick. Keeper Joe Warren. Bolanos is told to back up, and does. Warren looks downfield, rolls it to the outside, up the right wing, and brought forward by Dombrowski. Down to the 35, crossed down in front, headed away by Sanfilippo. On around the 35, Wilson up. The hit ball knocked down by Mateo, and the Thunder have it back. On the near side, Lara sliding in. Sanfilippo knocks it loose, and then his Steenkamp to volley it out through midfield on the near side. Wilson of the Thunder pushing it up the near side into Rhino territory. Warren after it, tangling up with Sanfilippo, ball out of bounds, throw in for the Rhinos from their own 35 on the near side. Sanfilippo to take the throw in. Frankie Sanfilippo, we'll hear from him at halftime. Had a chance to talk with him a little bit earlier today. Brought away. Carvajal settles the ball for Ball and up the right side. Carvajal racing after it. Slide tackle as it's taken down along the near side, then blocked out of bounds. And Carvajal slow getting up. It was a slide tackle on the ball by Brannon, and Carvajal went flying, but no penalty, no foul is called. So it'll be out of bounds and a throw-in for the Thunder from their own 30 on the near side of the field. 23rd minute, Rhinos up 1-0. And the long throw-in out through midfield. Stepping in, Sanfilippo sends it the other way. Head for Carvajal, pushing it to the outside for Bolanos, trying to get loose. Bolanos up the right wing. Just rolls it toward goal after it's sliding out on the ball. Out around the 18 is the keeper, Warren, as he beat Carvajal to the ball. Off the far wing. Dombrowski lets it roll to the outside for Alberts. With the right foot, drives it out to midfield, but Steenkamp steps in to knock it down. Chips it ahead on the right side. Checking back on the ball is Lara, and it's recovered by the Thunder. Dropped off. Wilson's pass in the middle, taken there by Juarez, and a pass out to midfield in the center circle. Blocked forward into Rhino territory, but knocked aside by Perry. Ball with it, drops it all the way back to Palguda, having to turn back and chase it down on his 18, plays it down inside the 18 to his keeper, and Vallow just goes back to the outside for Palguda. Off on the left wing with the left foot, then drives it out through midfield. In underneath it, Brannon heads it into Rhino territory, skips out of bounds to the far side, and a throw in at midfield on the far side for the Rhinos. 24th minute, a 1-0 lead for Rochester. It's Bolanos, spun around, still has the ball at his feet. Then he's tripped up and taken down hard on the tackle by Mateo. And Bolanos, slow getting up. He was really hammered hard by the diminutive Jeff Mateo at 5'6", 157 pounds, a 24-year-old from Poughkeepsie, New York.
On 7, Mateo, free kick, Rochester.
All right, Rhinos with the free kick, and it's rolled to the outside. Bolanos up and all right now as he drops it back for Palguda to the center midfield line for Schweitzer. To the outside, Palguda right back to Schweitzer. Takes a look downfield, long chip up the left wing, deep to the end line. In underneath the Bolanos trying to get to it. At the far end of the 18 as he's pushed but comes up with the ball. Has it still outside the far end of the 18. Knocked away and out of bounds by the Thunder, so it'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos deep in the left wing corner. 25th minute. Rhinos leading 1-0, and the ball will be thrown in off of the far side of the field as Perry moves up for the throw-in. On it from about, they pushed the ball back a ways. It should be somewhere around the 15 for the throw-in. Perry backs up onto the running track, get a long run at it here. He's set, and here's the service. Line drive along the 18. Flick in on goal by Carvajal, and grabbed off the line by Warren, the keeper. He's one of those tall keepers that when he gets his arms in the air, he's got a long reach. It's tough to get the ball over him. Right away. By the Thunder through midfield. Headed in the air back to the midfield line. Kurt Wilson in underneath it. It's blocked away now by Dombrowski, so it'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos. Off of the far side of the field. Palguda with the throw-in. Off the left wing. Carvajal knocking it down. And a foul is called on Caraballo, so it'll be a restart for the Thunder, their own side of midfield. Dombrowski. That's Chad Dombrowski, the older brother of the two Dombrowskis, and the other one that's added is Ty Dombrowski, who had been with the San Jose Earthquakes until being loaned here for the remainder of the season. Up the left wing pass ahead. Sanfilippo knocks it loose. Turn to the outside once again. Mike Wilson of the Thunder. Lara return pass to Wilson. Now a chip up the left wing into the corner. Tarley after it. It's kept in along the near end of the 18, then blocked away. Lara centering pass, however, blocked away by Sanfilippo and out. That's over the end line. A corner kick for the Thunder.
Hands on your feet. It's a Minnesota corner kick.
Corner kick. Lara placing the ball. Now it's Mateo actually coming over to take the kick. Right-footed kicker, in-swinging kick. From Mateo. Low service in the box. Knocked down and put it away by Bolanos. Big bouncer out around the 35. Settled there by Juarez. Rolls it into the center circle and back on the ball is Alberts. He'll go long to the left wing side, but Schweitzer's in underneath it. They head it away, and it's carried out by Bolanos. Turning back to the ball. Sneaks it off to his left. Sanfilippo spinning around. Turns it to the outside for Palguda. On the left wing. Past the midfield line for Bolanos. His return pass to Palguda. Up the left wing on the give and go. Ahead on the far touchline. Wilson continuing on for the Rhinos. Down to the far end of the 18 at the 10. Here's a cross along the 18 in front. Caraballo heads it up. It's Palguda headed forward. However, blocked away and out top. Stepping in Steenkamp. Again, heads it away. However, Lara in underneath the ball and it's taken back by the Thunder. Stepping in to knock it aside is Bolanos. Rhinos have it. Pushes ahead for Caraballo. Spinning around. Still has the ball. Turns toward the middle. Knocked off his foot. Ball helping out. Drops it back around the 35. Taken by Sanfilippo, drawing it forward. He'll switch it to the left wing side, where it's taken by Bolanos. Long up the left wing, looking to sneak it through for Mladenov. Rolls off his foot. It's out over the end line. And a goal kick for the Thunder. Nice build-up by the Rhinos. Could not get a finishing shot away. 28th minute here in Minnesota. 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Minnesota the other night hosting the Montreal Impact. Montreal had a first half goal, and then Minnesota came back and tied it up on the last shot of the game, somewhere around the 79th minute, I think it was. So that ended up in a one-goal tie as Montreal thought they were going to escape with 3 points. However, Minnesota came back in the last seconds and tied it up and won. That was their last regular season game. High moving throw in down inside the Rhino 18 off at the far corner, booted away by Schweitzer. Off at the far wing, skips out of bounds, throw in for the Thunder, 35 yards out. Minnesota did play a game on Saturday night against a former A-League team, Milwaukee Wave United. An exhibition game played in Milwaukee last Saturday night. Ball pushed forward to the Rhino 18, pounded high in the air by Perry, spinning off at the far wing and up into the stands. So another throw in on the far side for the Thunder from around the Rochester 25. Throw into the far end of the 18 from Menyonger. Turns it to the outside. High cross down in front, up in the air, bringing the ball down at his 6th. Is Vallow, and the Rhino keeper has the ball. 29th minute. Rhinos up 1-0 to score. John Ball along the near side will send it out through midfield. Bolanos run over, never got the head ball away. In the center circle, taken back by Steenkamp. Turning back to the ball, drops it off. Palguda on the left wing will just chip it through midfield. Flighted over Bolanos, and it's recovered by Dombrowski of the Thunder. Off on the right side, Alberts through midfield. In the Rhino territory, knocking it down is Perry, and the Rhinos have it. Mladenov out around his 35, off on the left wing for Palguda. Sends it along the far touchline, but the Thunder in underneath the ball. Pass forward, blocked away by Steenkamp. Steps in, takes it away, then taken down by Mateo, but does get a pass away. Kurt Wilson up the right side for John Ball. Through midfield in the center circle. Rolls it off on the left wing and catching up with Bolanos. Looking for the through ball, sneaks it through. Caraballo slowed up at the 18, spinning around. Still has it on his feet. Ball, and he jammed his cleats into the turf and couldn't come away with the ball. And it's booted out to midfield. And a recovery up the left wing comes Menyonger. In the Rhino territory, pass ahead for Tarley. Moving down to the 18, turns to his left. Watch there by Perry, and it's booted out over the end line by Perry. And a corner kick once again for the Thunder. Third corner of the match for Minnesota.
All right, fans.
Again off the left wing side.
Great opportunity to tie the match.
As Mateo has to come all the way up from midfield down to the corner to take this corner kick. 30th minute. 1-0 lead. Rochester scoring back in the 20th minute. Kurt Wilson, team leading 8th of the year, assisted by Mauro Caraballo. Right-footed kick, in-swinging kick. This time in the middle, punched away by Ballo. Up in the air, coming down around the 20. Stepping in under the ball is Alberts. Burns takes a shot in. One bouncer knocked down. Younger spinning around. Drops it back. Charlie tips it off the crossbar. However, the offside flag is in the air. Well, the Thunder had their chances, but offsides once again against Minnesota. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Connolly Printing. Turn your printing nightmares into creative dreams. Call 426-4150. Favor Homes. See what they have to offer at favorhomes.com. By Lakeside Country Club. Golf along scenic Keoka Lake. East Lake Road in Penyan. Out into the center circle, push up the wing. Pops up in the air, headed forward for Charlie. But as it bounces away from him, it'll be chased down by Perry. Turns into the outside and boots it up into the stands on the far side.
Or online at www.mnthunder.com.
Throwing on the far side of the field for the Thunder. And to the far end of the 18, turned back to the outside. Alberts crossed along the 15 and headed away out of the box by Steenkamp. Settled once again by the Thunder, 25 yards out. Long up the right wing, deep to the far corner for Alberts. Brings it down inside, looking for the cross. Booted away by Palguda out over the end line. Another corner kick for the Thunder. This time off the right wing side. So Minnesota, lots of chances on the set pieces. And the corner kick to be taken by, once again, Mateo. Right-footed kicker off the right wing side, an out-swinging kick. Here comes the service, a low roller down inside, booted away and out by Schweitzer, that is, and chased down out near midfield. Turning to the outside once again, Juarez brings it away. His pass forward, but that's intercepted. Schweitzer rolls it ahead. Mladenov, one touch. Sanfilippo up the near wing for Caraballon at the midfield line. He'll draw it forward. Chips it in the middle, but knocked away and recovered. But in turn, stolen right back by Caraballon. Sneaks through. Turns to his left, trying to get away from Lara. As he'll drop it back for Bolanos. Looking to the outside. Chased there by Alberts. Drops it back at the midfield line. Palguda, center circle. Steenkamp back to the outside again for Palguda. And into the middle, along his 45 for Perry. Long foot, left foot kick up the far side. Nobody helped him there. And it's across midfield, back in the center circle. Take it right back by Ball to the Rhinos. Then knocked off his foot, but stepping up, Perry able to chip it through. That's recovered by the Thunder. Pass through the center circle. As we have Perry down on the field for the Rhinos. Ball brought forward. Ben Younger then will kick it out of bounds to the far side, and Perry went down hard. He's laying on his stomach and seems to be in a fair degree of pain at the moment. So Perry down on the pitch, and the referee, Jeremy Schroeder, coming over to take a look at Jason Perry. 33rd minute here in Minnesota, and it is a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos over the Minnesota Thunder. As the Rhinos trainer, Dave DePasquale, being called out into the pitch to take a look at the defender, Jason Perry. Rhinos 3 straight on the road now. They'll be heading down to Richmond on Friday night, and then Virginia Beach next Saturday night, and then returning home on the 30th against the league-leading Richmond Kickers. Certainly the Rhinos are hoping by that point that Richmond won't be the league leaders, but again, that'll be Friday the 30th is the next home game for the Rhinos. If the Richmond Kickers coming to town, and speaking of games coming up, don't forget about the next day, the 31st. It'll be another one of those MLS friendlies, as the Rhinos will be hosting the Colorado Rapids at Frontier Field. Colorado Rapids coming in on July 31st. So 2 games in 2 nights. Well, DePasquale looking at the right ankle of Perry, signals over to the bench to change it up. So looks like Perry will be unable to continue, as the indication from the Rhinos trainer is that they'll be needing to make a change. Perry does roll over and sit up, but very gingerly, as he's going to be helped up. And the Rhinos will be, it's Tenwa Bansu up and warming up, and Perry is up. He's going to be helped off the field, making sure not to put any weight on his right foot. So Perry is injured in the 34th minute.
If your ball lands in the loop, place in time.
And has to leave.
The money in the pot, and there is $920 in the pot. If no one wins,
looks like an ankle.
Rolls over to the next Thunder game. Find a Thunder staff member carrying an order.
With a whole lot of games going on here, that certainly isn't a good sign.
Proceeds for this guy.
Perry being helped off the pitch.
And leadership program through Thunder Club.
And unable to continue again. He is still not putting any weight whatsoever on that right foot. All right, so Perry is off and Bansu is in. here in the 35th minute.
In a match for Rochester, number 27, Benoit Bonsu.
All right, the substitution first of the match.
Into the match for Jason Perry.
And the restart across the way. Throw in the Rhinos to Wilson. He'll just kick it downfield, and then the Minnesota Thunder will start out of their own end of the field. So the Rhinos now without Perry. Bonsu is in. And he certainly should be well rested. Has not seen a whole lot of league action lately. Ball downfield, out of bounds. Throw in for Minnesota from their own 35. There's some discussion as to exactly what's going on here. And Dombrowski with a throw in, a high looping throw in through midfield. Palguda steps in underneath at the head of the side of midfield, but recovered by the Thunder. Into Rhino territory. It is Mateo pulling into the middle, but that's knocked away by Schweitzer, and then cleared ahead off of the near side. It was a knee-to-knee collision with Schweitzer and Mateo, and they both went down to the field grabbing onto their legs. Schweitzer now getting up, and he'll limp away. Mateo is still down on the field. And both went for the ball at the same time and looked like maybe kicked shins or collided knee-to-knee or whatever in that area. Schweitzer gets up, and he's still limping away, but is shaking it off right here, whereas Mateo is still down on the field. Jason Perry is on the bench, being attended to by the Rhinos trainer.
The place to be for the world.
Perry is gone for the day, and Benoit Bonsu is in. 37th minute now in Minnesota. 1-0 lead for the Rhinos, and now the Minnesota trainer being called out onto the field. Benoit Bonsu. Only 12 minutes played in the previous 6 league games. So he hasn't seen a whole lot of action lately. He has seen some, of course, in the friendly against DC United. Also some in Open Cup play. And Mateo laying on his back now pulls down his right sock, and the trainer is tending to his right ankle. The referee standing there saying, "I can't wait much longer."
Listen up, here are halftime.
All right, still 1-0 in favor of the Rhinos over the Thunder. That's the score of the first time they met this season, back on July the 8th in Rochester.
For the Target Soccer Mom Sweet, Nancy Littler.
Mateo gets up, limps away. He's trying to run it off.
And for the Subway Soccer
Now jogging a little bit and hobbling still. He'll be all right, it looks like.
Vaughn. We didn't get the last names, but Aaron and Vaughn.
As he is hustling to get off the pitch on the near side.
Soccer talent. And, of course, the coaching.
Going over to the bench. Nobody warming up right now for the Thunder. Doesn't look like they're planning on a substitution. Mateo coming over, and he'll sit on the bench for a moment.
For the halftime extravaganza.
All right, restart for the Rhinos from their own 35 with the right foot. Hammered out through midfield by Vallo, flicked in the air, and headed forward by Brannon as the ball is pushed out into the center circle. Checking back, Younger with a flick, but that's booted away by Schweitzer. Ahead for Bolanos, and Caraballo up the right wing side, deflected away from ball. He kicks back on the ball and knocks it away. As it is controlled once again by the Thunder, and long service downfield. In underneath it, Schweitzer turns back with the right foot through midfield. Bolanos heads it in the air, center circle. Caraballo in underneath it, drops it off for Steenkamp at the midfield line. He'll go to the right wing side. Ball off the right shoulder. Blocks it. Tried to pass in the middle, but that's behind Sanfilippo. Taken back by Younger. Out the Thunder. On him is Steenkamp, but a foul is called on Steenkamp. So a restart for the Minnesota Thunder.
Foul on Rochester, number 20.
From their own 35.
Steenkamp.
Out through midfield. Younger's pass ahead. Sanfilippo back as Charlie was pulled off the ball, and Charlie giving the referee some dirty looks as the Rhinos have it. Dallo led the ball long up the right wing side, but that's headed right back into Rhino territory, and there Sanfilippo volleys it out to midfield. Steenkamp makes that Mladenov in under the ball, and John Ball blocks it forward across midfield. Rolls out on the near side. Throw in for the Thunder, their own side of midfield. 40th minute. 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Long throw in on the near side. Stepping up, Sanfilippo heading across midfield for Caraballo. Tried to touch it forward, but blocked away by Brannon. In the center circle. Rhinos have it. Bolanos looking for the through ball. Down rolling inside the 18, but that's kicked away by Brannon out on the near side. Spinning back with the ball. Laura drops it off, and Mike Wilson then drives it out through midfield. A flick on by Charlie. Head from Younger. Pulls it forward, but turning back to take it away is Bonsu. Plays it back to the keeper, and now first times it off on the near side. 35 yards out. Sanfilippo puts it toward midfield, but Juarez in under the ball for the Thunder. That's headed away by Steenkamp. and volleyed high in the air by Wilson as he shanks it on the outside of his foot off on the near wing. Pops up in the air, then settled to feet by Bolanos. Turns it along the near touchline for ball. As he's bumped, still keeps it in. Pass off Sanfilippo with the right foot, boots it along the near wing. Through midfield, blocked away and out of bounds by Brannon. And a throw in for the Rhinos on the near side.
Fans, for all your car rental needs.
John Ball for the throw in.
Call Courtesy Car Rental. Courtesy Car Rental is
Takes a look downfield.
Company of the Minnesota.
And he's going to leave it there, and Sanfilippo moving up for the throw in. Goes short of the throw in the ball, turning it right back to Sanfilippo along the near wing. Tried to boot it away, but deflected aside by Tarley. And now Lara takes it for the Thunder. And Younger drops it off. Juarez into the center circle. Plays it back deep to his own side. Off the far wing. Dombrowski being chased there. He'll then drop it back in the middle for Brannon, who will volley it high in the air and into the stands on the far side. It'll be a throw in for the Rhinos just across midfield on their own side of the midfield line. 1-0, Rhinos leading. 42nd minute here in St. Paul, Minnesota. Throw in by Pelguda through midfield for Caraballo. As he drops the ball, brings it forward. Pass in the middle for ball. Return pass, but headed aside. In underneath it is Kirk Wilson. Has it 20 yards out of the middle, trying to sneak it through. And the ball blocked, chipped ahead. Stepping up, Steenkamp draws it forward. However, foul is called. A foul is called on the Rhinos. They have the referee, and he's calling over Wilson. And they're both going to get yellow cards. Wilson of the Rhinos and Albert of the Thunder are both going to draw yellow cards here in the 42nd minute.
Okay, Albert. Free kick, Minnesota. Hey, the Minnesota
42nd minute, time of the cautions.
In attendance this evening, the Highland Groveland Recreation Association.
So a restart for the Thunder.
Griffins.
From their own 20 to be taken by the keeper. And we see Mateo is back up. He's all right and out onto the pitch. So Mateo is back. Right it through midfield. And when it sneaks through, Sanfilippo pops up in the air off of the near wing. Bolanos in under the ball, knocks it down. As Eddie is in turn taken away by the Thunder. Charlie turns it up the left wing, pushing it to the outside. That was rather out on the near side to Charlie in the corner as he pulls it inside the 18 roller and from Bolanos blocks it away. In under the ball is Lara. Turns it to the outside of the near wing once again for Mateo. Watched by John Ball. Pass along the 18. Stepping in is Bolanos to intercept. The Rhinos bring it away. In the middle for Bolanos. Couldn't quite reach it. And the ball then is put up into the stands on the near side. Throwing for the Rhinos from their own 30 on the near side of the field. To be taken by Frankie Sanfilippo on the throw-in. 43rd minute. Throw in through midfield. Caraballo heading it toward the middle along the center circle, but it's intercepted by Juarez, and it's controlled once again by the Thunder. Dombrowski blocked away by Caraballo. On the far side, gets to it in time to keep it in along the left touch line. He'll roll it deep to the far end of the 18. Backfield attempt by Wilson, missed on it, and it's carried off by the Thunder. Off of the far wing, low kick out to midfield, center circle from Younger. As he checks back on the ball, turns, spinning around, and drops it to the outside of the near wing for Lara. Ball chasing him. Lara across midfield for Tarley. As he comes back to the ball, recovers it and sends it out to the midfield line. Mateo turns it off on the right side for Dombrowski. Right wing, high chip shot coming down around the Rochester 20. One big hop out the far end of the 18, and underneath it is Tarley. As he gets tangled up, ball rolls to the end line. Still keeps it in play. Deep in the corner. Pass over the far wing. Trying to spin around and get loose. Is 10 off, and the ball rolls out of bounds off of 10 off. So a throw in deep in the corner for the Rhinos. 7 minutes of stoppage time.
Entering the match, 4 minutes, number 20.
Oh, wait a minute, no. It's a substitution. I was going to say 7 minutes. Schmidt is coming in, and Mateo is checking out here in the 44th minute.
Let's hear it for Jeff.
So Mateo is not altogether healthy. As Schmidt warms up and checks in.
Hey, fans, if you found that orange bucket.
And again, Mateo is out. Schmidt is in.
There's $2 you can purchase your lucky tennis ball for charity tonight.
Totally a throw-in deep in the far corner for the Rhinos. How good is throw-in? Back toward midfield. That's pushed forward by Bolanos. Not getting to it. Dombrowski volleys it ahead. Then it's flicked back inside to the end line by Steenkamp. But diving in to keep the ball in play is Battle. Steenkamp made sure he put it wide to the net. It's almost too wide.
No one wins. The money brought in tonight.
Battle. Half volley kick through midfield. Off on the left wing, but puts it into the stands and one bounce. So it'll be a throw in their own side of midfield for the Thunder. Long throw in through midfield. Now it's bouncing away. Bonsu knocked it down. Then it's Schweitzer to knock it down. Rolls out the far end of the 18. Charlie after it. Tangled up with Bonsu, and the ball rolls to the end line, to the touchline and out on the far side. Throw in deep in the corner for the Thunder. And I'm sure we'll see, yes, we will. We'll be seeing Brannon, the defender, coming way upfield to take the throw in. Last time he had a high looping throw in way down inside the middle of the sixth.
Stoppage time. 4 minutes of stoppage time.
4 minutes of additional time. As Brannon backs way up, takes the run at it. Here's the throw into the box. Headed by Palguda and out. Bolanos will then head it further out of the box. Off in the far wing, then Younger trying to settle the ball. Turns to get away from Kirk Wilson. On the far wing, then Younger's crossed along the six, but that's blocked away, and Wilson then will hammer it out through midfield. Headed up in the air in the center circle. Nodded forward into Rhino territory. That's Brannon to block it forward, but Steenkamp moving in, knocks it away, and the Rhinos have the ball. Wilson up the left wing for Bolanos. Out to midfield, sliding in to take it away is Brannon. He came in from behind, and now Brannon draws the yellow, and down on the pitch is Bolanos grabbing onto his right ankle. Oh, that was a nasty tackle from behind by Brannon. Time of the caution in the 45th minute.
Yellow card set to the Thunder's Brett Brannon.
So, Bolanos is up and all right. Of course, anytime you have a player that's just returning from an injury, you're certainly hoping that he's not going to re-injure it, and it certainly looked like there was a possibility right there, but Bolanos is up now and all right. Free kick for the Rhinos. 45 yards out off the left wing side. Schweitzer delivers down to the far end of the 18, blocked away and out into the stands, so a throw in this time deep in the corner for the Rhinos. We're in stoppage time, first half, and it is a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Off the left wing side, the throw in to be taken by Palguda. Harry ordinarily might be taking this throw in, but of course he injured. Earlier in the half and is out. Ball fighted in the air out to near midfield. Popped up in the air. By Sanfilippo on the far wing trying to keep it in play is Bolanos, and he does not. He shanks it off the outside of his foot into the stands. Throw in the far side of the field for the Thunder. Long throw in into Rhino territory. Big bounce of the ball, and Bunch is there to drive it out near midfield. In underneath it, Juarez drops it to his own side of midfield for Brannon. Works into the center circle, pass forward, gets it right back. Brannon to the outside for Dombrowski. On the right wing. Long service down to the Rhino 18. That went headed away out the near side by Sanfilippo for ball. Passes ahead for Mladenov as he turns, able to feed it off to Bolanos. On the left wing, turns back with the ball. Still being chased by Juarez, and finally is able to get away. Pass on the near wing for Sanfilippo. At the midfield line. Long chip up the right wing, but Bolanos has stopped his run, and the ball is headed up into the stands by the Thunder. Jordan for the Rhinos, 25 yards out off the near side. Ball to take the throw in. Goes deep to the corner for Carabayal at the near end of the 18. On the end line. Carabayal plays it along the end line, but he looks like he tried to put it off of one of the Minnesota players, but missed, and it's out over the end line and a goal kick. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Health Source Chiropractic in the Rochester Fitness Center at 3313 Triley Avenue. Call 889-3280. By Auto Depot USA, unbeatable prices, unbeatable reputation. And by the Personal Health Approach, an upscale health club. At 3450 Winton Place, call 232-8888. Warren with the ball. Half volley kick through midfield, coming out of the near side, then headed by Schweitzer back to the midfield line. Settled there by Palguda. Volley's in across midfield. Ball knocked down by Dombrowski in a collision with Wilson. That's out, and a throw in for the Rhinos on the far side. Well, the players are arguing about who it has actually a Minnesota throw in. Long through midfield. Bonsu tying up with Tarley as the ball rolls to the far corner, deep to the corner, looking for a cross, gets away, and it's out over the end line. And a goal kick for the Rhinos. Stoppage time, first half, 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Dano will take the kick. Well, he won't get it away as there's the whistle, and that ends the first half of play. Well, it took a long time to play the first half, but finally it's over as the Rhinos scoring back about the halfway point of the first half, managed to hold on here for the remainder of the first half. We have completed one half at James Griffin Stadium here in St. Paul, Minnesota, and through one half, it's the Raging Rhinos 1, Minnesota Thunder 0. This is Raging Rhino Soccer on Fickle 93.3 FM.
The 2005 Thunder.
First radio, now Pickle.
Love the changes. Absolutely love them. Please don't go back to the other way.
You can hear rock come right back with something soft and then all day long something in between.
We want your opinion.
You're doing a fantastic job, but the only problem I'm having is I live in Batavia. You need a little bit stronger signal. Thanks.
Call the Pickle comment line at 423-2933.
Out there in Portersville, New York, we love the new Fickle 93.3 FM.
A pleasant surprise is next.
It's like an iPod, only better.
Every generation of Volvo has been committed to safety and saving lives. Visit Best Volvo, like Volvo owner Peter Parts.
I was in a horrendous accident where an oncoming driver had fallen asleep and hit me head on. I'm absolutely convinced I would have never walked away had it been any other car.
Test drive the Volvo XC90, the world's safest SUV, only at Best Volvo, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together to save lives. 1500 University Avenue.
Hi, this is Joe Giuliano, Rhinos radio color commentator and host of the Soccer Report. Join us every Tuesday at 6:30 for full coverage of the Rochester Raging Rhinos, Major League Soccer, and international soccer news. Give us a call every Tuesday at 346-3000. It's the Soccer Report.
The time for a healthy you is now. And Personal Health Approach Health Wellness and Fitness Center, Rochester's brand new premier upscale health club, is the place you need to be. PHA Health Wellness and Fitness Center, located at 3450 Winton Place, is the official strength training facility for the Rochester Rhinos. Let PHA's personal trainers and exercise therapists create a personalized program that will meet your needs and goals. Call PHA Health Wellness and Fitness Center at 232-8888.
Wouldn't it be great if every tool you bought were covered by a lifetime warranty? Chase Pitkin includes one at no charge with every tool purchase. If you're not completely satisfied, return any tool with your receipt and we'll repair it, replace it, or refund your money. And you'll find we carry a huge selection of tools from the best names: DeWalt, Porter Cable, Bosch, Delta, Stanley, and more. All at great prices. The lifetime tool warranty, only from Chase Pitkin.
5 years. That's awesome. Well,
Here in St. Paul, Minnesota, as we've completed one half between the Rhinos and the Minnesota Thunder, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. They'll be trying to hold on to the second half coming up in a little bit as we check out the Marina Dodge first half statistics. Of course, the first half stats always brought to you by Marina Dodge each game. And checking the first half again, unofficial stats. Well, let's tell you the goal scoring first of all is the 20th minute. Kurt Wilson finishing on a great pass from Carabayal from about 18 yards out. That's Wilson with his team leading, 8th goal of the season, and scoring as Carabayal assisting. So Wilson on the season now with 8 goals, 2 assists, 18 points to lead the Rhinos in that category. And Carabayal on the year now with 2 goals, 4 assists for 8 points. So that was the goal scoring in the first half of play. Unofficially, I had 5 shots for Minnesota and 2 for the Rhinos. Shots heavily in favor of Minnesota, 5-2. Not a whole lot of shots from either side. And again, those are unofficial shots, 5-2 in favor of Minnesota. Also unofficial, I had 4 corner kicks for Minnesota, none for the Rhinos. 4 offsides against Minnesota, and none against the Rhinos. So not any statistics on the Rochester side of the ledger. Quite a few stats on the Minnesota side, but of course the only one that counts was the 1 goal that was scored, and that by the Rhinos in the 20th minute, Wilson from Carabayal. So there's your first half stats brought to you by Marina Dodge, and we'll continue with more from James Griffin Stadium in St. Paul, Minnesota in a moment. Through one half, it's the Rhinos 1, the Thunder nothing. And this is Raging Rhino Soccer on Pickle 93.3 FM.
You never know what we're going to play next, which is great because we don't either. We're that random radio station, Pickle 93.3 FM.
I'm Tom Rosati from Mallier Chevrolet Buick. You know, the guy who always says yes, now with a lot more to say yes to. Mallier is Rochester's newest GM certified used car dealer with more than 200 General Motors certified used vehicles in stock. And with bumper-to-bumper warranty on these vehicles, you'll have the same peace of mind you have with a new car or truck. So take the short drive to Mallier in Honeoye Falls or check us out at Mallier.com.
Mallier Chevrolet Buick. We always say yes.
You know, Arnie, I really admire you.
Well, let me tell you something, Bill. In America, you can have it all.
Yeah, me, I can't even trade in my old car.
Bill, stop being a galley man and go to Marina Dodge.
When you make a deal, we'll pay off your current vehicle no matter how much you owe. New 05 Dodge Durangos and Ram Quadcast, $9,000 off MSRP only at Marina Dodge. 943 Ridge Road between 5 Mile Line and Hard Road in Webster. Call 866-YES-7774 now. Several available at this offer to qualify. All rebates to the
Hey, Joe, what's your...
Once again at the half here in Minnesota, it's a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos over the Minnesota Thunder. And through the first half of play. Had a chance earlier today to spend a little time with a Rhino defender, first year with the Rhinos, Frankie Sanfilippo, and what a great addition he has been to this organization. Coming over with Coach Callaway from Syracuse. Had a little chance once again to talk to Sanfilippo and asked him to sort of fill us in on his life as a soccer player and where did he begin playing soccer.
Soccer, I started when I was 5 years old. Played recreation for like about 2 years, and then I started playing club for the next all the way through high school, and played for the La Jolla Nomads for like about 8-9 years, and then got a scholarship to San Jose State, and played there for 4 years, and then I got drafted by the Earthquakes, and I was with them for about 2 months, and then I got released, and then I played for Syracuse last year, and then this year with the Rhinos.
So you're Californian?
I'm California, oh yeah.
Yeah, a West Coaster until we moved to Syracuse. That must have been culture shock, huh?
Oh, very culture shock. I'm used to 70 degrees weather, full around, like beaches and just the lifestyle and living in Southern California. Then coming out to Syracuse and seeing snow on the porch was a totally different story for me.
Is that over now? Do you have a problem with that, or are you all right here?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got used to it when I was at Syracuse because Rochester is only like an hour away from Syracuse, so I got used to it. And when I came here, snow was there again when I showed up.
Homesick for the beaches?
Not really. I mean, I got used to it. Last year I was like getting kind of homesick, but when we went down to Puerto Rico, I saw the beach and everything, so I was like, oh, okay, it was nice to see that. And but I get used to it, so it's good. When I go home, I always like definitely go have a surf session out there.
Yeah. College, you graduated?
Yeah.
Degree in?
Criminology. Major in sociology and a minor in criminology.
Well, it's interesting. What do you want to do? Any plans with that?
We'll see. I'm just gonna keep on doing this for as long as I can because I just wanted a degree to get a degree just so it would be backup for anything whatever happened to me. But I'm just gonna do this as long as I can.
Has it always been soccer for you? Was there anything else you played at all?
I played football for 4 years. I played football in high school for 4 years, and I had a blast because soccer was in the winter. In Southern California, soccer is in the winter, and football is in the fall. So I did both, so I had a blast playing football. It was just a great time.
Didn't want to continue on with football?
Didn't want to continue on with football because, I mean, you look at the guys now in college, everybody's like a specimen, and there's no way I would do that. But I wanted to stick with soccer.
Soccer is had been your main life. I mean, do you have other interests? Anything at all outside of soccer?
Right now, no. Like, soccer is really my interest. I mean, I love coaching. Like, when I was back home, I was coaching a lot, and I like coaching kids and teaching the ways and everything that I've taught of playing. And so that's probably
when you're done playing, then you think about coaching?
Probably coaching. Yeah.
Jackie was saying Frankie Sanfilippo, defender for the Rhinos, and we shall continue very momentarily from James Griffin Stadium here in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos over the Minnesota Thunder. Again, this is Raging Rhino Soccer on Fickle 93.3 FM.
First Radio. Now, Fickle.
Yeah, this is Carl from Creative Coverings Painting. Myself and Dan and Bob and Jerry, we listen to your station every day while I'm working.
We want your opinion.
We just love your station. Keep up the good work.
I really like your new radio station, but I need to hear more TC on the station.
Call the Fickle comment line at 423-2933. A pleasant surprise is next.
Looking to travel in style for a special occasion? Call Golden Memories Limousine and Transportation. With their corporate charters, executive mini coaches, limousines, and 55-passenger bus, Golden Memories has a transportation solution for any event. Invite them to be a part of your wedding day or celebrate your stag or stagette party in style. Golden Memories is the safe choice to travel to casinos, wine tours, or corporate events. Call 723-1322 today for more information. That's 723-1322. Travel with the company the Rhinos use. Golden Memories for all your luxurious transportation needs.
Rochester Rhinos, Rattler, Nighthawks, and Amerks. World Gym Rochester is proud to offer personal training packages tailored especially to your needs, including Apex A5 component system that assures you results. The Apex system is customized for you and your needs. Lose weight, improve your health, or just get in better shape. World Gym Rochester and Apex can help you reach your goals. Fun, high-energy group exercise classes like Rep Reebok are offered so you can work out with friends. Spinning, yoga, and Pilates are also great ways to work out and release stress and tension. And to make it more convenient, World Gym Rochester now offers a newly expanded child care hours. For more information, please stop by the gym at 1717 East Avenue, just west of the East Avenue and Whitten Road intersection, or call 271-0440. That's 271-0440.
Every generation of Volvo has been committed to safety and saving lives. Visit Best Volvo, like Volvo owner Peter Parts.
I was in a horrendous accident where an oncoming driver had fallen asleep and hit me head on. I'm absolutely convinced I would have never walked away had it been any other car.
Test drive the Volvo XC90, the world's safest SUV, only at Best Volvo, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together to save lives. 1500 University Avenue.
Once again, from James Griffin Stadium in St. Paul, Minnesota, it's a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos over the Minnesota Thunder through one half of play. Waiting to start to the second half here in just a few moments. And again, talking with the Rhino defender, Frankie Sanfilippo, a very interesting young man, says that he thinks maybe coaching would be in his future when he gets done with his playing career. And I asked him if he considers himself to be a real student of the game at this point.
I'm still a student. Every year. I mean, since I've been a professional, I've been learning each year, and from older guys teaching me other ways to play and teaching me how to do this, how to do that, and it's been it's good for me because I like to learn. I'm eager to learn, just about any position, any formation. I'm just always eager to learn.
When you're watching a game, say on TV, or you're watching a game even in person, are you analyzing it in your own mind then?
I'm just looking probably at the players and see how they are. Mostly analyzing the players, but when it comes up to formation and we talk about how to do 4-4-2, how do you slide, how you communicate, all that stuff, talking with other players has kind of always helped me out with that.
To say the very least, you spend as much time on the ground as you do running on top of it. I mean, the slide tackle you mentioned right there, is that something that you had to learn? Is it just something you just did, or what?
It just came to me when I was growing up. I just remember guys on the team were always slide tackling, and I don't know why, I just got used to it. I don't know, I'm just so used to it of slide tackling. It's just every time guys close nearby me, I'll always slide tackle. It's weird.
Timing seems to be the biggest thing on it, right?
Yeah, timing's the big thing. If you don't time the player and the ball, you're gonna foul the guy every time. But if you can time the ball, you'll get the ball most of the time.
The master of the slide tackle, certainly Frankie Sanfilippo, and having a great year so far. He's a lot of fun to watch. So, Frankie Sanfilippo. As we're getting ready now for the second half from Minnesota, it is a very slim 1-0 lead for the Rhinos over the Thunder. And again, this is Raging Rhino Soccer on Fickle 93.3 FM.
Hi, this is Joe Giuliano, Rhinos radio color commentator and host of the Soccer Report. Join us every Tuesday at 6:30 for full coverage of the Rochester Region Rhinos, Major League Soccer, and international soccer news. Give us a call every Tuesday at 346-3000. It's the Soccer Report.
Say, is Rochester weather a little ugly for you? Well, forget Florida. Move to Dayton. That's right. Dayton, my friend. And this is the best advice you'll get this cold and ugly winter. Get out of your ordinary tires. Move up to Dayton Tires.
When you move to Dayton, wintry weather doesn't matter. Rain, sleet, snow, whatever Rochester can throw at you, Dayton's wide track winter track throws it right back. With a unique tread design that bites through slush and snow and channels away water, the wide track winter tracks will have you wishing you moved to Dayton a long time ago. Best of all, moving up to Dayton won't cost you much at all, because with the low prices on the full line of Dayton tires, you just might have enough of your hard-earned money left over to visit, say, Toledo. And given that prospect, you'll probably appreciate being home right here in Rochester.
Plan a quick trip to Dayton at Auto Concepts, 900 Jefferson Road behind the Genesee Regional Market, and Hollywood Service, 1803 Monroe Avenue.
Dayton. Hey, don't tell your travel agent. Let's just keep it our little secret.
Fickle. The station designed so you can listen a long time, because we don't repeat songs over and over. This is Fickle 93.3 FM, Random Radio.
Getting set now for the second half here at James Crippen Stadium in St. Paul, Minnesota. As we are about to get underway this time around, the Rhinos will be shooting the bets a mile left, and Rochester will have the wind at its back, and it'll be goaltender Joe Warren of the Thunder with the sun shining in his eyes. He is shading his eyes right now with his glove, has not put a cap on, as Vallow had a cap on in that first half. Now Scott Vallow with the sun at his back does not have to wear the cap. Down to my right, and the Rhinos waiting for the start of the second half. I do see that Jason Perry has been helped back out onto the bench, still not putting any weight at all on his right foot after injuring his ankle, it looks like, in that first half. Has ice bags on his ankle, and so that's not a great sign. Looks like he's going to be probably out for a little while, or maybe being very cautionary to not put any weight on it at all until he has an opportunity to have it checked out. So Perry came out injured in the 35th minute, and Kenwa Bansu went in, and as I look across the field for the Rhinos, they're lined up for the start of the half. It looks like there are no further changes. Here we go now in the second half, as it's taken by the Thunder and into Rhino territory. Younger on the left wing, sliding in to knock it away Sanfilippo, and it's out of bounds. That off of the Thunder, so it'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos from their own 35 off the right wing side. Moving up for the throw-in will be Sanfilippo. Just getting started, second half, 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Sanfilippo with the throw-in out through midfield. As the ball blocked in the air, volleyed into Rhino territory, stepping up to knock it aside is Steenkamp. Chips it through midfield, and it skips out of bounds to the far side. Unable to keep it in, Carabajal, or make that John ball. So it'll be a throw-in for the Thunder, their own side of midfield. A short throw-in, return pass, and stepping in to take it away, Carabajal. Rolls it into the middle. It's deflected away and taken back by the Thunder. Now back down to the 25. On the near side, Dombrowski pass ahead. Checking back in the ball. Schmidt rolls it into the middle and off on the left wing side. Off the far wing, Tarley. There, make that Lara. Drops it back, and now a long chip up the left wing into the stands out of play. So a throw in back near midfield for the Rhinos. Sanfilippo asking the ref, where's the throw in spot? He'll bring it out toward midfield. Take the throw in. Early stages, second half. Sanfilippo short with the throw in, the ball blocks it, gets it off to Bolanos along the midfield line, turns it to the outside, ball drops it off. Sanfilippo, long chip downfield. Couple of bounces inside the 18 at the near end of the 18, grabbed by Warren. Fakes a throw, still has the ball. Long as 18 dribbles a couple of times, moves out into the middle, and throws the ball ahead outside the 18. With the left foot, drives it out to midfield. Ball has brakes on it as again the wind quite heavily blowing from my right to left. That's blocked and taken by Juarez, turning it to the outside for Lar and up to midfield. Coming back to the ball, knocked away is Tarley, and it's recovered by Steenkamp. The Rhinos have it. Rolls away and out of bounds, so in for the Thunder. Lara looking for the quick throw in, gets it away to Tarley. As he moves back to the ball, rolls it to the outside, brought away by Lara, down to the Rhino 18 in the far end of the box, blocked away and out by Bansu. Another throw in for the Thunder, about 10 yards out. Throw into the far end of the box, knocked out by Younger. As he's double teamed, watched by Bansu and Sanfilippo. Pass out top, moving in, right with a shot along the 6 in front. Head ball in, but then booted away by Kirk Wilson. Out around the 30. There's a crack in the ball. That's blocked away also by Schweitzer out to near midfield. Carabajal drops it off for Schweitzer, approaching the ball. Draws it forward, double teamed, and finally it's taken. The Rhinos have it back. Wilson, long chip up the left wing side. After it, Carabajal on the heels of Dombrowski as they bump it, rolls inside the 18. Roll toward the keeper, and then it's first time away by Warren. Coming down to the center circle. Wilson heads it aside for Bolanos. Spinning around as he's double teamed and taken down. A foul is called on the Thunder. Restart for the Rhinos. Quickly off to Mladenov. Rolls it to the open left wing side. Running onto the ball is Palduda. Drops it back toward the middle. 35 yards out for Mladenov. Spinning around. Drops it off for Steenkamp. Checking in on the ball. Rolls it out of the near wing once again for Mladenov. Turns it up the left wing. On the near touchline. Sneaks a pass ahead for Bolanos. He is triple team, but pulls it out of the near side. Then he's sent flying again. Another foul is called. Another foul, and it'll be a restart for the Rhinos from their own, from the Minnesota 45 on the near side of the field. Throw in for Palduda. And he goes short on the throw in to Mladenov. Rolls it back to the outside for Palduda. Pass ahead for Bolanos. Carrying it up the left wing, down to the 20. Rolls it, trying to sneak a pass through, but that's blocked away by the Thunder. Then knocked away by Bolanos. However, Thunder up with it again, and it's skipped away. However, foul is called on Bolanos, and so it'll be a restart for the Thunder.
Free kick, Minnesota.
A free kick will be taken down around their own 15. However, the ball is grabbed by Brannon. He places it about 20 yards out. Gained a few yards on that one. Long strike through midfield. Down to the Rhino 30, and it's headed toward the middle. Younger turns it to the outside, moving up the right wing. Here's Tenoff at the near end of the 18. Looking for the cross, but off the foot of Palduda. Out over the end line, creating the corner kick. Corner kick for the Thunder.
Got him, Younger.
And then Younger will take the corner off the right wing side. Right-footed kicker, out-swinging kick. Set to serve it up. Then Younger with the kick, low in the box. That popped up in the air off the foot of Tardy, comes way out on the near side. Spinning away all the way out to the midfield line. Turning back toward Juarez. He'll play it all the way back to his keeper. Warren takes it there, stops it at his 20. Mladenov pressuring, so Warren kicks it away through the middle circle. Stepping up, Palduda heads it into Montreal to Minnesota territory once again, off at the far corner. Warren chasing after it, lets it roll out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Thunder down around their own 10, deep in the far corner. Warren chased the ball all the way out across the track, picked it up and threw it back for the throw-in. Brannon will take the throw-in deep in the left wing corner for Minnesota. Shading his eyes to see what he's looking at. Sun getting low at that end of the field is right into the face now of Minnesota. Carabajal heads it to the outside for Kirk Wilson. Spins to get away from one and another. Turning, trying for the through ball, but blocked away by Juarez. Hand to the far side, and in turn, it's blocked aside again by Kirk Wilson. And out of bounds. Throw in for the Thunder, this time from around their own 15 on the far side. 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. 51st minute here at James Griffin Stadium. Only visit for the Rhinos to this building this year. First visit ever here for Rochester. First, the Minnesota Thunder had played previously north of town in Blaine, Minnesota. And it's knocked away on the far side, hammered out near midfield. Steenkamp knocks it down. Rhinos have the ball. Slipped out to the center circle, taken by Palduda. Turns to his right, rolls it off to the right side for Sanfilippo. Has it 40 yards out. Long delivery up the left wing side. Deep to the corner goes Mladenov. Big bounce on the ball. Mladenov gets to it at the end line. At the near end of the 18, stops, turns back to his left. Here's a cross on the 6, but that's blocked up in the air. Bolanos first times it. That's too high. Up over top of the crossbar on the first time shot. So the Rhinos get a shot away here in the second half.
Business, health, and life insurance protection.
And the goal kick for the Thunder.
Find your local American Family agent of the white or yellow paper.
Minnesota's Joe Warren to take the kick.
www.amfam.com.
Players move downfield. Left-footed kick through midfield. And the center circle. Steenkamp heads it forward and turning back go the Thunder again. Brannon in underneath it. Heads it off to his keeper where it's taken by Joe Warren inside of his 18. Warren has the ball. Players move away. 52nd minute. 1-0 lead for the Rhinos, having scored back in the 20th. Kirk Wilson with his team-leading 8th goal of the year, and Mauro Carabajal with the assist. Through midfield, headed by Steenkamp in the air. Bonsu then nods it forward. Mladenov, header for Steenkamp, nods it into the center circle. That was skipping by Carabajal, almost snuck away from Dombrowski, but he blocks it and carries it into Rhino territory. Turns the through ball up the left side. Schweitzer's there to knock it aside. Up at the far wing, Sanfilippo after it. Does he get to it? Yes, he does. He keeps it in play, and really, wow, he gave up the body on that one as he slid knees down out onto the running track, and then the ball was knocked out. So a throw-in, and the Rhinos on the restart. Sent out through midfield, but intercepted. Here come the Thunder again. Off the left wing, looking for the through ball. Bonsu heads it aside off of the near wing for Palduda. Pass ahead, Mladenov rolls it out to the midfield line. Carabajal touching it off to Bolanos. Drops it off. Bolanos tips it up the left wing, and underneath it, Ball knocks it into the middle after Caballero. This will be Ball skipped through and rolls it out on the far side. Moving up on the right wing, San Filippo down to the 25. Across along the 6 for the back door, and it's just a little bit too wide. Out over the end line, missing the net. So it'll be a goal kick once again for the Thunder. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Vision Auto Group. Visit the Vision Auto Group online at that'smyvision.com. Blueberry Hill Apartments. Come home to stress-free living. Call 889-7250. By the World Gym, the official strength training facility of the Rochester Sports Group at 1717 East Avenue. And also by Joma, the official uniform supplier to the Rhinos, available at Eurotech at the Rochester Sports Garden. In the Rhino territory, off in the far wing, backheel by Schweitzer, hit up the wing for San Filippo, but intercepted, controlled by the Thunder. And knocked away momentarily, but the Thunder have it again. Lara up the left wing and a pass into the middle. Rolling back, checking back to the ball. Wilson knocks it loose. Rhinos have it. Halguda on the near side with the left foot. They'll put it up into the stands. Throwing along the near side for the Thunder. From around the Rochester 35. Dombrowski with the throw in. Off to Younger, off the right foot, volleys it in the middle, but ball is there to knock it loose. However, back in the midfield circle where it's taken by Mike Wilson of the Thunders. Pass to Lara, right back to Wilson on the outside, and long up the left wing is it's knocked down by Charlie. Has it 20 yards out. Knocked away by Bunsu, and as they battle on the 35, 10 off checking back on the ball. Rolls it off on the near side. Chad Dombrowski at the right side. Rolls it to the outside on the near wing for Alberts. Down to the Rochester 25, spins it off in the middle for Schmidt, moving in left footed kick in, takes out the start hop by Vallow. So a shot there by Schmidt. Vallow diving in on the ball, pounces on it and holds on. 55th minute from Minnesota, 1-0 in favor of the Rhinos. Ball flighted high in the air through midfield, comes off on the near wing, stepping in to hit it into the center circle. There it's taken by Mladenoff. Rhinos have it. Pass upfield for Bolanos. Trying to go to the outside, does sneak it through to John Ball on the right wing, down to the 20. Has it on the far wing, rolls it back out top to 35 for San Filippo. In the middle for Bolanos, who's returned to the lineup here tonight. Drops it off, Steenkamp, one touch to the outside for San Filippo. Out the right wing, has it 35 yards out, rolls it ahead on the far side. Ball along the right touchline, across along the 18, and up the near side, nobody there for the Rhinos. Got away by Alberts. Moves it up the near wing and past the midfield. San Filippo there to get the boot on it, and it's off his foot and out of bounds. Throw in for Minnesota on the near side out at the midfield line. Stepping up for the throw in is Dombrowski. Gains about 15 yards, finally takes the throw in. Flight is just over. Schweitzer off of the near wing, and it's controlled by Tenoff. Or not Tenoff, but rather Charlie, and Younger rolls it to the outside in the far wing for Lara. Throws it down to the 15. Here's a cross in front. Punched away by Vallow up the near side. In underneath it. Carnabayal heads it back toward the middle. As Juarez chasing it down. Spins to get away from Mladenoff. Tips it forward. Blocked away off the foot of Younger, but he steals it right back from Bolanos. Moving in. Takes a shot high and wide. And hits the scoreboard with that one. Way high and wide to the right side.
Goal kick. Rochester.
Goal kick for the Rhinos. 57th minute. 1-0 lead.
The Thunder
For the Rhinos.
Colorado Rapids with the MLS on August 3rd.
Vallow.
Game.
Placing the ball at the 6.
You can purchase your tickets at the promotions table and save $2 per ticket.
Takes a look downfield with the right foot.
Open cup.
It's a little more distance on the ball here in the second half with the wind at his back. That one is volleyed in the air. Out of midfield, San Filippo heads it across midfield. In under the ball is John Ball. As he knocked it down, hit him in the hand, so a handball is called, and there'll be a restart for Minnesota, their own side of midfield. On the restart, Juarez will chip it through midfield. Schweitzer's there to head it away. Flick back toward midfield by Steenkamp, then blocked up in the air, coming down to the center circle. Mladenoff touching it aside. Settles the ball to feet, turns it to the outside. Ball drops it off. San Filippo with the right foot hammers it downfield, and nobody there for the Rhinos. In underneath it, Dombrowski heads it back to his keeper. Warren has it. Just inside of his 18. Sun going down off to my right. Still shining for the most part in the eyes of the keeper, Joe Warren. Ball flighted through midfield. Halguda heads it in the air out of the near side. Kirk Wilson flicks it across midfield, and he's run over from behind by Dombrowski. So the foul is called, and it'll be a restart for the Rhinos. Free kick from their own side of midfield. Halguda moving up, places the ball. It looks like maybe Schweitzer will take the restart. Looks downfield. Scotty Schweitzer with the right foot. Serves it all the way down to the 18, headed up in the air by Brannon, coming out top and nodded to the outside of the near wing, and underneath it goes Alberts. With the right foot, pass ahead through midfield. Harley pops up in the air, but it's in behind Schweitzer, who turns back, and then his ball is it out to midfield. Bolanos flicks it across midfield, trying to get in behind is Kirk Wilson. Lays it to the outside of the right wing, rolling to the far corner. Will ball get there in time? Deep in the far corner, gets there just in time to keep it in play. Out top to the 18 for Wilson. Turns to the outside, back heel off the ball. Along the 18, has it on the right wing, drops it all the way up to around the 35 for Sanfilippo. To the outside once again for ball. As the Rhinos with ball control, maintaining possession. That got around the 45 and played all the way out to the midfield line for Bonsu. Pass ahead, however, that one sneaking by is in turn taken away and brought upfield by Schmidt of the Thunder. Turns it to the outside of the near wing for Albers. Pass back in the middle, stumping in to intercept it. Schweitzer, the Rhinos have it. Schweitzer in the center circle. Kirk Wilson looks to the outside, feeds it ahead. Carabello, one touch on the outside for ball as he breaks in behind, down to the far end of the 18. Players breaking upfield. The ball trying to get a pass away, cross down in front. Carabello with the foot on the ball. However, it's out over the end line. Missed the post on the short side, and a goal kick for the Thunder.
Minnesota. Hey, fans,
59th minute.
From around the U.S.
1-0 lead for the Rhinos.
USLsoccer.com every week to watch video highlights for matches.
Rhinos 3 in a row on the road. Next Friday, traveling to Richmond. Next Saturday, playing at Virginia Beach. Ball hammered out through midfield by Warren. Headed up in the air in the center circle, then flicked across midfield by Schmidt. After it's Steenkamp heads it through midfield, and Dombrowski there to volley it all the way down from Younger. Rolled off his right foot, and Schweitzer getting to it. Will and bang it off in the far wing. Settled by Lara, and the Thunder with the ball. Pass ahead, stepping up. Schweitzer then he'll just smoke it. Sends it all the way downfield deep in the far corner. And turning out to the far side for the ball is Warren. Plays it off in the far wing. Pass ahead, Juarez. Drops it back. Brannon lets it roll to the keeper, and Warren then will play it out on the near side. Joe Warren in the middle. Ball gets 35. Juarez taking it there. Spinning around, turns it to the outside. Mike Wilson of the Thunder on the left wing. With the left foot, will deliver through midfield. Knocked down by Bonsu. As helping out is Steenkamp. However, that one blocked aside. The Thunder haven't been Younger. To the outside of the near wing. Albers drops it off, and that's knocked away by Kirk Wilson of the Rhinos. Palguda slips it up the near side. Stepping in, however, Dombrowski. Pass ahead for Schmidt. Spun around, taken down by Palguda. Foul is called. 20 yards out off the right wing side. Foul is called, and a great opportunity right here for the Thunder again on the free kick from right around we'll call it about the 19. Now the ball placed about 20 yards out. Rhinos will be setting a three-man wall. Around looks like about the 10, should be about the 10. All right, ball is set. Henoff is there, runs over the ball, then Younger goes for it inside, flicked away on the far end of the box, and with the left foot driven away on the far wing and out through midfield by Palguda. Chased back by the Thunder. 61st minute here in Minnesota, 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Off of the far wing, taken by the Thunder along midfield. There's control by Juarez, plays it all the way back to his keeper. Warren to the outside. Juarez brings it ahead, rolls it forward out to the 35, and a pass by Mike Wilson of the Thunder to the center circle. It's switched off on the near wing, and off the right side, Alberts off to Dombrowski. Then Alberts crossing on the outside as it's carried forward. As they pass by Ben Younger in the middle, intercepted by Schweitzer. The Rhinos take it back. Bolanos bumped off the ball, and after it on the far wing goes Lara. Left wing side, down to the Rochester 35, drops it off there for Juarez. It is chipped down inside the 18, but headed away by Sanfilippo for Schweitzer. As he spins around, gets away from Lara, lays it to the outside. Sanfilippo run over from behind by Tarley. And so a foul is called, and it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos from their own 30 off the right wing side. Looks like Aaron Pay getting set to check into the match for Minnesota. Yes, it is Pay. Here's the ball flighted through midfield. Carabello spinning in behind, but Wilson trying to get away. That's Mike Wilson of the Thunder. Turns along the 35, rolls in the middle for Bolanos. A back heel in the middle. Taken back by Albert. And is controlled by the Thunder. Spinning around in the middle. It is on 25. Drops it back in the middle for Brannon. With the right foot. Sends it out through midfield. And Younger there. Blocked away as he's tied up by Bonsu of the Rhinos. Ben Younger spins off in the near wing and a pass to the right side for Schmidt. He rolls it down in front. Sanfilippo knocks it away. Tarley settling the ball at the stick. Pass in the middle. Ball chipped in the wide left. It's put wide left to the post by Henoff. A golden scoring opportunity by the Thunder and misses wide to the left side. Wow, do the Rhinos dodge a bullet there?
Goal kick, Rochester.
Goal kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Nextel, helping groups get things done. Call 800-NEXTEL-9. By the New York Lottery, you can't live the dream if you don't play the game. By Tony's Collision, the finest workmanship is guaranteed. Trust in Tony's for all your auto body needs. Vallow with a long service downfield. Flicked by Carvalho into the middle. Taken back by the Thunder off on the near side. Wilson gets a foot on it, deflected away to the stands on the near side. Throw in for the Thunder from their own 35 on the near side. The throw into Juarez as he is turned back. It's taken away by Mladenov. Spins to the outside. On the near wing, being chased from behind. Mladenov brings it away. It's deflected away and out of bounds by Dombrowski. So a throw in on the near side for the Rhinos from 25 yards out.
Fans, the official post-game party spot.
Now good at
Thunder tonight. He's a Dixie's on Grant.
Now good up for the throw-in.
Dixie's on Grant.
Throw in short to Mladenov along the 18 on the near side as Bolanos skips through, pass in front, but into the hands of Warren along his 2-yard line. So comes down with the ball, plays it on the near side, and Steenkamp in turn steps in to knock it away. Steenkamp catching up to the ball, pass in the middle for Carvalho. Gives it off Kirk Wilson. Sneaks the ball through. Bolanos moving and shoots. Scores! Bolanos inside the post on the right wing side. Snoops it by the left hand of Warren. Great pass. Nice setup by Wilson and Carvalho, and the Rhinos have a 2-0 lead. Rochester doubling its lead here in the 65th minute as Bolanos puts it away. And certainly his presence has been known here tonight on his return from injury. Bolanos, with his 4th goal of the season, gives him 11 points on the year. Jonathan Bolanos puts it inside the right post, and the Rhinos now up 2-0. I'm sure we'll see a lot of substituting going on right now. Lara coming out for the Thunder, and Pay going in here in the 65th minute. Lara is out.
Now ready to match 4 minutes under number 9. Aaron Pay.
So Pay is in. And Lara is out. All right, so the Rhinos, boy, that's a huge goal right there with a little breathing room. Off the near wing through midfield. Schmidt drops it back in the center circle for Munyounger as he'll turn it through the circle and drops it off at the midfield line. Juarez moving forward, long on the left wing side, deep to the corner. Underneath it, Bansu tips it aside. Sanfilippo, high volley kick, floats it out through midfield. Carvalho, but that's knocked away and turn knocked down. Bolanos has it, turns it up the near side. Bolanos with the midfield line pass ahead, intercepted, taken away, but checking back to the ball is Carvalho, then knocked off his foot and out. And that by the Thunder, so it'll be a throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. We have a substitution coming up. Pato will check into the match. And coming off will be Bolanos.
Scoring for Rochester, number 6, Jonathan Bolanos. The assistant, number 21, Kirk Wilson.
And Wilson assisting.
Wilson scoring in the 65th minute.
So Bolanos, they certainly don't want to overwork him on his first night back from injury. Comes out in the 66th minute. And Pato is in. As the Rhinos are up 2-0, now the 67th minute. Deep in the far corner along the end line. Carvalho pulled down, drops it in front. Shot off the crossbar, comes down in front. Popped up in the air, and this time out over the end line. Rhinos almost put another one away. This is off of the Thunder, so it'll be a corner kick for the Rhinos. First corner of the night for Rochester.
A full Mexican First Division team.
Mladenov. Off the right side, will be taking the kick.
7:35, the National Sports Center.
Off the right wing side, Mladenov stepping up for the corner kick.
It's a one-time event. You don't want to miss it. First, if you take
we have a Rochester player down on the pitch. Trainer trying to get out to attend to his injured player who's laying. Oh, there is a player down over the end line. The trainer, Dave DiPasquale, being called out. You see, he's laying out over the end line. Can't pick up right now who it is. It might be Sanfilippo. All the players are standing around in front of him. Rhinos have already lost Jason Perry tonight to a leg injury. He is on the bench with ice bags on his ankle. And that is, I believe it is Sanfilippo laying on the field at the side of the net. Oh, no, that's not. Here's Sanfilippo way out here at midfield. Still can't see who that is. is down and behind the net. Here's the corner kick, service along the near side, headed back toward the middle, and it's been Younger to volley it away, but Sanfilippo in under the ball on the right wing side, up to the 35. Long chip down to the 18 once again. That's popped up in the air. Coming down along the 18, head ball in the air, off of the near wing, rolling to the end line, and there is grabbed by Warren, and he holds on. It might be Pato even, who just checked into the match. I believe it is. Pato gets up very gingerly, trying to put some weight on his right ankle. Pass along the near side. Moving in. Schmidt turns back toward the middle. Shot blocked away by Steenkamp. Comes off on the near side. Moving into the ball. Dombrowski up the right wing at the touchline. Kept in along the near side by Pay. Drives it toward the middle. Inside the 18. Slide block on the ball by Steenkamp. And then it's smoked up into the stands by Schweitzer. So it'll be on the near wing once again. And a throw in for the Thunder in Rhino territory along the near side. I do see Pato back at the other end of the field now, jogging around the outside of the pitch. On the near side, so it was Pato, after just coming into the game, was taken down and checking on the right ankle, comes back to the bench. Now he's talking to the fourth official and wants in. Off on the near side, up with it again, the Thunder. On the right wing, rolls out. Throw in for Juarez. Into the near end of the 18. Tarley trying to settle the ball, pushing it to the outside. Skids behind Juarez and out. Throw in for the Rhinos, and Juarez now is, Pato is on the pitch, back in the game. So a throw in deep in the corner for the Rhinos. Calguda will take the throw in. We're now in the 69th minute. The Rhinos up 2-0. Throw in along the near side. Carabayal flicking it out toward midfield. Brandon underneath it for the Thunder. He'll knock it down for Manyonga. Off of the right wing side. Pass by Alberts in the middle. Bonsu to tip it away all the way out to the 35. Again in the middle, Juarez. Drops it back to the left wing side near midfield. Wilson with a pass ahead. The Rhinos, however, stepping up. Sanfilippo intercepts. Into the center circle. Out to Pato. Breaks it ahead. Up the right wing. Through ball on the right side. Offside flag is in the air. First offside of the match against the Rhinos. Restart for the Thunder from their own 35. In the middle. 70th minute. Here in Minnesota. 2-0 lead for the Rhinos. Wilson with a goal and an assist tonight. Goals by Wilson and Bolanos. Off the left wing side, turning back into the middle. Sanfilippo sliding in, will knock it away out the far end of the 18. Here's the cross in front. Calguda there to head it away. Off in the far wing, bouncing ball out around the 35. Juarez settling it. Drops it back to the midfield line for Brannon. Into the center circle. Brannon long up the right wing. Chips it down to the Rochester 18. Bouncing down inside. As it's blocked in. Again, Sanfilippo boots it away now. On the far side. Throw in for the Thunder from 35 yards out off the left wing side. There's the throw in short. Gets right back. Sanfilippo first times it out into the center circle. Carabayal. But that's nodded for by Dombrowski. And stepping in to take it away is Wilson. Drops it off from Mladenov, however, picked off and carried away by Manyonga. He'll trying to chip it through. The ball blocked to the outside of the far wing. Still controlled by the Thunder. On the far wing, down to the Rochester 25 and a pass in the middle. Stepping in, Pato knocks it away. As Wilson got a foot on it to boot it away. Rolls out the far end of the 18. Along the 18, rolling ball in. Scooped up off the end line by Vallow, and he'll hold on.
Shot by Tenoff.
So Vallow taking the ball, holds on. Waits for the players to move away. Now 72nd minute. Vallow with a high floating kick through midfield. Down to around the 30, headed up in the air. Pato trying to get in underneath it, but Dombrowski for the Thunder heads it off into the middle, and Juarez out on the left wing side. Ahead for Tenov to the midfield line, sends it through midfield to Tarley in Rhinos territory. That's knocked away by the Rhinos, and Steenkamp touching it to the outside. John Ball rolls it in the middle. Pato in the center circle, spins away with the ball. Rolls it off on the near side, but nobody there. It's picked up and carried away by the Thunder. And Alberts drops it back in the center circle from Manyonga. He looks to the outside of the right wing, looking for the through ball. Pass ahead for Pay, and bumped away from the ball, and it's carried off by the Rhinos. Schweitzer up the left wing side of midfield for Carabayal. As he is down double team, turns back with the ball on the near side, skips it through, and then it gets away from him. Carried off by Schmidt. Pass ahead. Schweitzer in turn intercepts. Rhinos take it right back. Center circle. Heads off to Pato. Drops it off. Mladenov. One touch to the outside of the right wing for Sanfilippo. Return pass up the right wing and across midfield for Pato. Runs into Juarez. The ball skips away, and the Thunder have it. Off in the near wing, Manyonga turning to the outside. Wilson stepping in, trying to almost throw it away. Kirk Wilson has done a little of all of it again tonight. Off in the far wing, left wing side, carried ahead toward midfield. Into the center circle for Manyonga. Long chip up the right wing. Albert's trying to get to it as Talguda back and heads it away. And then the ball dotted out of bounds by the Thunder. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos from around their own 20. 73rd minute. Rhinos up 2-0. Scoring in the 20th minute, Kirk Wilson from Mauro Carabayal. Scoring in the 65th minute was Jonathan Bolanos from Kirk Wilson. On the near side, back to midfield. Brandon tried to then send it downfield, but blocked away by Wilson for Pato and off to Aguilera. And on the midfield, trying to sneak through the midfield line. We're taken back by Juarez of the Thunder. Chased from behind by Carabayal. And Juarez gets away, pass out on the left wing for Tenov. Into Rhino territory, pushing it ahead down to the 30. On the far wing, Sanfilippo sliding in, boots it out of bounds. Quick throw in on the restart. Flipped along down to the end line. That's kicked away in the far corner. Spins out over the end line off of Schweitzer. A corner kick for the Thunder. Corner kick for Minnesota. Off the left wing side. Hay to take the corner kick, 74th minute. Right-footed kick, in-swinger. Low in the box, booted away by Bonsu. Off of the far wing, underneath it is Juarez, back near the midfield line. Through the center circle, off on the near side. Alberts, pass up the right wing, ahead for Dombrowski, checking back on the ball as he's chased there by Kirk Wilson. Ends off of the far wing. Mike Wilson for the Thunder. Tips it down inside the 18. Rolls to the end line. Nobody will get to it. That's out over the end line and a goal kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts include the Soccer Report. Tuesdays at 6:30 on WYSL, 1040 a.m. Buy Total 10. Don't settle for half a 10. Get a Total 10. Located in Penfield, Gates, and Greece. And also by Best Volvo, Rochester's exclusive Volvo dealer at 1500 University Avenue. Out of bounds to the far side. Throw in for the Thunder from their own side of midfield. Play it in. Tenov rolls it back down to his 35 in the middle. Taken by Brannon. Draws it forward with the right foot. Line drive kick through midfield for Schmidt. At the Rochester 35. Turning back toward the middle. Sneaks it to the outside of the far wing for Pay. Down to the Rochester 20. Turns back and rolls it in the middle once again for Menyonger. Looks to the outside. Switches to the right wing side for Dombrowski. As he'll slip it off into the corner, knocked away by Falguda, and the Rhinos take it back. Kirk Wilson taken down, but play goes on. As Wilson steps up again, knocks it aside. Carabayal to Wilson. Cross midfield, through ball on the left wing side. Carabayal after it. Breaking down inside the 18. Moving and shoots. Hits the post. Comes back on top. Carabayal then taken down. Has the ball grabbed off the post by Warren. Oh, man, oh, man. As Carabayal was through, hits the post. Ball comes back on the top the other way. It's offside against the Thunder. Minnesota offside.
Offside, Minnesota.
But the ball came back off the post out in front to around the 15 and into the hands of Warren as Carabayal went flying over top of Warren. Couldn't get the rebound shot away. Well, there's a great run by Carabayal, and now he's going to come off the pitch here in the 76th minute as Carabayal will be out and Howes will be in. Substitution for the Rhinos. 76th minute. Howes in. Mauro Carabayal is out. Great game for Carabayal once again, as always. All right, restart for the Rhinos. Dallo to take the kick from his own 25.
Number 9, Greg Howes. He replaces number 17.
Sends it through midfield. Howes after the ball, settling it there for John Ball. Spins around, drops it back. Now Sanfilippo tips it ahead for Howes, but he's in behind, offside against the Rhinos. Greg Howes is still in an offside position. Restart for the Thunder from their own 30. Off the left wing side. 2-0 lead for the Rhinos. 77th minute. Here in Minnesota, Bonsu heads it forward and is volleyed the other way. And Bonsu with the left foot then sends it out to the midfield circle. Loose ball after it goes Pato. Trying to break away. Pato up with the ball. Inside the 18. Moving in. Turns to his left. Shoots. Scores! Pato draws it through midfield. Breaks away. He faked to his right. Pulled it back to his left around Warren. Puts it inside the left post. And the Rhinos are up 3-0. Pato on the breakaway in the 77th minute. As the Rhinos are up 3-0, Pato scoring his third goal of the season. And the Rhinos have a nice lead now with the time moving along into the 78th minute. Substitution coming up. Ty Dombrowski will be checking into the match. And Brandon coming out here in the 78th minute.
4 Minnesota, number 15, Ty Dombrowski. Replaces number 2.
Brandon is out. Ty Dombrowski is in.
Ty Dombrowski, that is, in for Minnesota.
All right, so.
Number 7, Pato Aguilera. Rochester goal by number 7, Pato Aguilera in the 77th minute.
No assist announced, so Pato getting the goal, his third goal of the year, where Pato and the Rhinos are up 3-0. A little breathing room now as the ball is chipped out through midfield. Backward, Bonsu heads it in the air. Off on the far side, Mladenov in underneath it, stepping up. Sanfilippo then just hammers it out through midfield. Looks like Ray Martinez getting ready to check into the match for the Rhinos. Drop back. As the Rhinos have two still available for substitution, Shakiris and Martinez. Back out toward midfield and off on the near side. Then Younger pass through and in behind. After it goes Pay, stepping in, sliding in on the ball is Vallow, and he puts it way up into the stands on the near side. Vallow winning the race to the ball. Looking for a ball, and checking off now will be John Ball, and in is Martinez. Substitution in the 79th minute.
Entering the match for Rochester, number 35.
That's the fourth sub of the night for the Rhinos.
Into the match for John Ball.
All right, so Ball is out. And the ball is played off in the far wing. After it goes Ty Dombrowski, turns it to the outside of the left wing. And off the left wing, looking to sneak it through and checking back on the ball. Bonsu knocks it away. Martinez drops it off and ahead back for Sanfilippo. First times it out through midfield on the near wing. In underneath it, Chad Dombrowski. Pass on the right side. And that's knocked down in front, brought away by Schweitzer. As he's bumped from behind, gets a weak kick away, and it's picked off and carried forward. Through ball to Pay, sliding into the ball, and his six coming up with it is Vallow as he wins the race once again to the ball, throws it off in the far away. Collision across the way, Martinez taken down on a hard tackle, and this will be the yellow card. Yellow card will be issued as Martinez was taken down on a very hard tackle. I believe that's Mike Wilson. With the yellow card, Mike Wilson.
Red card has been assessed. Minnesota's number 14, Mike Wilson.
Yes, it is. Did he get the yellow or did he get the red? All right, so Wilson is coming off. Evidently got a red card on a very hard tackle. Martinez is up.
The assist on the Rochester third goal. Scoring for Rochester, number 7, Pato Aguilera. The assist to number 27, Tanwe Bonsu.
Bonsu getting an assist, and that is Wilson. That is Wilson heading for the locker room, so evidently did get the red card. Couldn't see it from across the field. And off the pitch now is Wilson, as that is in the 80th minute. And now the Thunder are man down. Into Rhino territory, pushed off on the near side once again. Out the right wing, Ben Younger stepping in to take it away. Palguda up the left wing side for Pato, and ahead on the near wing, carried forward by Wilson. Cross midfield. Mladenov make that steam cab catching up. Wilson sneaks it through on the left wing side. Mladenov after the ball. Down to the 18 step over. Rolls it in front, but couldn't get anything on it. He had House on the right wing side, but nobody could get the ball through to him. House is wide open. However, the lane was closed. Couldn't get the pass through. Got back again at the 30 and pushed to the outside of the near wing.
Two birthday boys today, Ryan and Bill.
Minnesota man down now as the Rhinos have taken a 3-0 lead in the center circle, intercepted by Pato. Goes long to the outside of the right wing for Howes. As he sneaks the ball through, Martinez trying to sneak it behind, but Juarez turns back to the ball and plays it out on the far wing. Thunder with the ball on their own 25 and a pass into the middle for Schmidt. Into the center circle. Chips it up the right wing side. Underneath it, Alberts brings it away. Down into Rhino territory is dropped back in the center circle. Again recovered by Pato of the Rhinos. Into the midfield line. Howes, one touch off for Pato. Return pass up the wing. And after goes Martinez, but way outside. Off in the far corner of the 18 where it's grabbed by the keeper, Warren. Rolls it ahead. Pushing to the outside on the near wing. Up the right side is Chad Dombrowski. As he'll deliver through midfield, but in turn stepping in. Sanfilippo just lobs it up in the air, volleys it through midfield. Ball bouncing loose. After goes Wilson. Down to the 20, sneaks it through in the middle. Here's Howes moving in. A rolling ball in off the left hand of the goalkeeper. Warren turns back as the ball pounces on it and holds on. Howes tried to sneak it in, but Warren got a hand on it. It was spinning around and behind him. He turned back to the ball, pounced on it, and held on. So the Rhinos almost sneaking another one through. Off of the far wing, out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos, 35 yards out off the right wing side. We're in the 83rd minute, and a 3-0 lead for the Rhinos. Goals by Wilson, Bolanos, and Pato Aguilera. Throwing up the right side to the end line, sliding in to knock it down. No, it was out over the... foul was called, actually, on San Filippo, so a restart deep in the corner for the Thunder. Driven out toward midfield, in underneath it, then Younger. Pass on the near side. Pato after the ball will knock it loose, but that's out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in on the near side for the Thunder from their own 35. Dombrowski with the throw-in, out the near wing, on the right side through midfield. Palguda there, but that's floated over top of his foot, knocked away in midfield, and in the center circle, taken by Younger. With the right foot, chips it up the near wing, and headed away by Schweitzer. The near touchline, Wilson gets to it, and can't keep it in play. Oh, yes, he did. On the touchline, it popped up in the air and pushed ahead down to the Rochester 25. Up in the air, they go for the header. That's knocked away. San Filippo after it will drive it over the far wing. Tinoff in underneath it. And San Filippo on him. It's knocked loose of the Rochester 18. Knocked down in front. Bonsu will play it aside. Schweitzer then sends it outside the box. 25 yards out, pass a hit from Younger, blocked away by Wilson once again. Bolanos volleys it forward, however, stepping up Juarez, who pushed the ball forward from the Thunder. Down to the Rochester 25, knocked away. The Rhinos have it simply, but with the left foot drives it out across midfield for Greg Howes. At the midfield line, Howes rolls it into the center circle. Wilson after it, able to knock it loose. Tips the ball forward, but he won't catch up to it on the other side as he runs into Dombrowski. So the Thunder back for the ball. 84th minute. Ball pushed to the outside of the far wing. Checking back, Tinoff across midfield. Rolls it along the touchline for Charlie. Right back to Tinoff at the midfield line. Through midfield into Rhino territory. Up in the far wing, spinning around his Pay on the left wing side. Draws it down to the 20 and a pass in the middle. Charlie's pass knocked away, but Younger has it in the middle. Chips it on the right side. Hit it away by Palguda. Settled again by Younger, and on the return, Pato knocks it aside before Younger could shoot. Carried up the near wing, Schmidt down to the 20. Rolls it to the open right wing side. After it, Alberts and the back for it is seen camped and deflected away and out of bounds. In the corner, throw in deep in the corner for the Thunder. Off on the near wing, the throw-in. Back out to around the 25. To Dombrowski, looking to sneak it through. Knocked down to the 18. However, up with the ball is Younger. And trying to draw it out in front. Cross from the 6. Blocked away by Schweitzer. Rolls over the near touchline and out. Another substitution as Juarez is out and Borenkamp is in the 85th minute. Borenkamp in. And Juarez is out, 85th minute. Time of the substitution. On the near side, throw in to the near side of the 18 as Younger double team. And the ball pulled away. However, a foul is called, so a restart for the Thunder. 10 yards out of the near end of the 18.
Johnny Younger to take it. Come on, Thunder fans. Let him hit it.
Younger.
Get on the scoreboard.
He'll serve it up. No, he's going to move away. No, I think he is going to take it. Pay is also there. Now Younger moves away, so Pay with the service goes to the back door. Hit ball. They score. Off the back door side. In front. That was nailed by, it looks like maybe Dombrowski with a head ball to put it away here in the 86th minute. So the Thunder on the board with a head ball. It's now 3-1. 86th minute, time of the goal. And I believe it was Chad Dombrowski. We'll have to find out. Get the announcement, but Pay is the one who served it up. Nice restart. Perfect placement for the backdoor side, and a head ball was blasted in the net.
Minnesota, number 17, Chad Dombrowski.
Yeah, it was Chad Dombrowski with the goal.
Assist number 9, Aaron Pay.
And Pay with the assist. So now it's 3-1. Still in favor of the Rhinos, and a pass into the middle. Looks like Shakira's getting ready to check in for the Rhinos off on the near wing, near end of the 18, where it's taken by Pay. Rolls along the 18, stepping in to knock it aside as Bolanos and the Rhinos have it. Push forward by Wilson, a hit for Pato. Center circle, ball blocked away to the outside of the far wing, and that's off a leg and out. Martinez will let it roll there, and let it sit there as San Filippo will move up for the throw-in. Shakira's in, and Kirk Wilson out here in the 87th minute. This is the final substitution of the night for the Rhinos. There's nobody else available for substitution. Kirk Wilson, great game tonight.
Entering the match for Rochester, number 8.
A goal and an assist.
Siskiris in.
So Siskiris into the match. And out of midfield, where it's taken by Howes up the right side. Turns it to the outside. A give and go. Martinez return pass to Howes. Blocks it down inside. Sneaks through. And no, it's offside. As Pato was also in behind. Offside against the Rhinos. Rochester had a 2-0 break.
And don't forget, tomorrow night, for the first time in the history
Out to midfield.
a full Mexican First Division team.
Through midfield. Yeah, the Thunder will be playing tomorrow night against the Mexican First Division team. That's tomorrow night. They have another game. Down inside the 18. Crossed in front, but blocked away at the far end of the 18. Rolling out of bounds. 88th minute here in Minnesota. Rochester up 3-1.
We're online at www.mnthunder.com. All right, Thunder.
Throw in off the left wing. There's a throw in short into the box. Pushed away into the far corner once again. Knocked down Martinez with it with the right foot. Drives it ahead. Out to the 35 for Howes. He'll drop it off from Bolanos on a return pass with the right wing. Howes after it, but turning back for the ball. Getting to it first is Borenkamp sliding in, and then he'll just kick it all the way back to his keeper. Taken at his own 18 by Warren. Chips a high floater coming down to the center circle. Bolanos in underneath it as he's pushed. Able to still head it to the outside for Martinez. Out the right wing. Goes for the net. And this shot a little bit too high, or a little bit too far wide to the left. Tried to catch Warren breaking, playing, cheating a long way out from the net. Tried to go for it, but missed. Warren has the ball. 89th minute. Warren with the left foot. Floater doesn't even make it to the center circle. The wind still blowing into his face. Off on the near wing, turning back. Borenkamp spinning around, trying to get away from Howes. Able to play it into the center circle, but Shakiris is right there to intercept. As Sean Shakiris drops it back midfield in the center circle. Steenkamp to the outside of the near wing for Palguda. Long chip up the left wing, deep to the wide open corner. Nobody there. And the ball rolling in the corner. First grabbed by Warren. Rolls it ahead outside the 18 for Borenkamp. On to the left wing side as the ball drawn forward. Minnesota brings it upfield. Into the center circle. Dropping it off. Schmidt drops it back to Borenkamp once again from his own 35. Long to the right wing side. Stepping in, Palguda heads it away and out of bounds. Throw in just across midfield for the Thunder. 90th minute, high floater downfield. On the near side, flick down inside the 18. Bounce to his back, and he'll boot it away off on the near side. Big bounce on the ball. Dombrowski steps in underneath it. Ben Younger to the outside on the right wing. Again, Palguda heads it away off of the near wing. Bouncing ball on the near touchline. Ben Younger with it. With the right foot. He'll take and deliver it down inside the 18. Skips through the far end of the box. Sanfilippo gets to it with the right foot. Pounds it away out across midfield. Borenkamp, as he's chasing behind, plays it back to the keeper. Patu almost came up with the ball, but it rolls down to the 18 where it's taken by Warren. He'll first time it in the air, and a high floater coming down just across midfield. Locked ahead by Shakiris in the middle. Taken back by Ty Dombrowski. Can't control. Rolls off in the near wing. Alberts has it for the Thunder and knocked away and out by Shakiris. Throw in for the Thunder. 3 minutes of additional time. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Off of the near wing. Charlie inside the near end of the 18. Charlie looking for the cross. Blocked away and out by Palguda. Trying to get it right back again. Pulls it out to the 18. Cross to the back door. And that's headed away by Martinez. There's a rolling ball in, but blocked away by Bonsu. And Pato carries it away. Pato out to the midfield line, up the right wing. Sanfilippo has Howes on the left wing side. Sanfilippo down to the 25, to the 20, at the far end of the 18, down to the 10, looking for a cross. Carries to the corner. He's wasting time as much as possible. Stops the ball in the corner, and finally it rolls away and out of bounds. Throw in deep in the corner for the Rhinos. Nice job by Sanfilippo to waste as much time as possible. We're in stoppage time, and the Rhinos leading 3-1. Throwing off the right wing corner at the far end of the 18. Howes battling for the ball. It is pulled away by the Thunder and blocked off on the far side and out once again. It'll be another throw in for the Rhinos. 15 yards out off the right wing side. In stoppage time. Throw in far end of the 18. Howes takes the ball from the throwing, carries to the corner, then it's knocked away over the end line. And a corner kick now for the Rhinos. So Rochester doing a great job of tying the ball up deep in the end of the Minnesota end of the field. Corner kick for the Rhinos. Off the right wing. Martinez, touch on the ball, spins around along the end line as he draws it down inside the end of the 18, but as the ball gets away, it's carried off by the Thunder in upfield. Ball flighted through midfield. Ahead for Tarley on the attack. Down to the 25, sneaks the ball through up the right side for Pay. After it, near into the 6, turns back to the middle. Can't get a shot away. Bonsu gets a foot on it to knock it away before Pay can get the shot off. And a pass in the middle picked up by Pato. Turns it off the right wing side. Ahead is Bolanos to the outside on the right wing. As they approach midfield, dropped off Martinez right back to Pato. Double team, pass off to Mladenov, and now draws it forward. Off the right wing side to the outside. That's tipped through the center circle, but Dombrowski to knock it down, and a high volley kick downfield. In behind, then Younger. Out to block it. In the air is Vallo. On the far side, Filippo in into the ball. I can't believe there was no offside. Call the ball, played away and out. And Vallo is back, and he's hobbling. He's bouncing on his left foot, and got tangled up with the right foot. Hands off of the far wing. The Thunder have the ball again. So Vallo trying to shake it off. Head ball in and grabbed in the midsection by Vallo. Still limping as he walks, but has the ball. He's waving the players to move away, so he's all right, shaking it off with the right foot. Kicks a high floater out through the midfield circle. Comes off in the near wing. That's knocked down. Pato in under the ball. Should be over any moment now as we have 3 minutes of stoppage time. Seems like that's gone by. To the outside of the near wing. Shakira's ahead for House. Along the near touchline. Spins around. Still has the ball. Shoots it up the left wing, but gets it right back. Tried to through ball again. This time it's taken by the Rhinos. And the whistle blows, and that is it. Rhinos coming away with a victory here tonight. Big win in Minnesota. The final score: the Rochester Raging Rhinos 3 and the Minnesota Thunder 1. And this is Raging Rhino Soccer on Fickle 93.3 FM.
Getting older can be a harrowing experience. Staying in shape just gets tougher. Why not join the downtown Harrow East Athletic Club? Memberships include aerobics, yoga, Pilates classes, whirlpools, sauna, indoor pools, squash, racquetball, 2 weight floors, cardio, indoor track, free parking, the list goes on. Don't give in, get tough. Join the Harrow East today, and they'll even waive the initiation fee. Call 546-1000. That's 546-1000, and we'll see you at the Harrow East.
Faber Homes is building communities for today's hardworking families. Park Place is located on Union Street, just south of 490 in Chilai. It's surrounded by 1,500 acres of county park. Many home sites are treed or offer the security of a cul-de-sac location. You must look at the new furnished model home at Park Place. The very best value for your family starting at just $129,900. Call them today at 889-9590. Visit their website at faberhomes.com or just drop in for a visit.
We lead very busy lives these days. So many demands, so much stress. It's just not enough time to get everything done. Come home to stress-free apartment living at Blueberry Hill. Luxury and excellence are built right in. Amenities above and beyond other rental units are included. Concierge service is just a phone call away. Let them take care of you. Call 889-7250 and make an appointment and see why Blueberry Hill makes life worth living.
I'm Tom Rosati from Mallier Chevrolet Buick. You know, the guy who always says yes, now with a lot more to say yes to. Mallier is Rochester's newest GM-certified used car dealer, with more than 200 General Motors certified used vehicles in stock. And with bumper-to-bumper warranty on these vehicles, you'll have the same peace of mind you have with a new car or truck. So take the short drive to Mallier in Honeywell Falls, or check us out at Mallier.com.
Mallier Chevrolet Buick, we always say yes.
Well, once again, here in Minnesota tonight, big victory for the Rhinos as they come away with a 3-1 win over the Minnesota Thunder. And by the way, I had some more sponsors to tell you about. Tire World at 2049 Empire Boulevard in Webster. Zweigel's, famous for quality sausage products and meat products since 1880. And don't forget Chevrolet. For the first time in history, everyone in America gets the Chevy employee discount. You pay what the Chevy employees do, not a cent more. At participating dealers, hurry up because the offer ends on August the 1st. So all of those are sponsors of these broadcasts all season long. Well, tonight, here at the James Griffin Stadium in Minnesota, the Rhinos come away with a 3-1 victory over the Thunder, and Rochester takes the season series 2-0 against Minnesota. Now on the year, Rochester in 17 games played a 10-5-2 record, and at the moment the Rhinos have moved into a tie for first place overall in the USL First Division. Now you think back to the start of the season, who would have ever thought that the Rhinos would ever reach first place, but they have here tonight, now tied with Richmond for first place with 32 points, and the Rhinos do have still a game in hand on the Richmond Kickers. Not only that, but they're playing Richmond in 2 of their next 3 games. A huge series coming up with the Richmond Kickers. So the Rochester Rhinos in tie for first place overall in USL Division I soccer. All right, taking a look at the scoring in the game, 20th minute, Kirk Wilson started it out for the Rhinos. scoring his team-leading 8th of the year. Carvajal assisting. Rhinos up 1-0. Then into the second half. The game-winning goal was scored by Jonathan Bolanos, his 4th of the season. Wilson assisting. That in the 65th minute. And the Rhinos added another insurance goal in the 77th minute. Pato Aguilera scoring his 3rd of the year, and Kinwa Bansu assisting as the Rhinos moved out to a 3-0 lead. And the Thunder came back and finally put one away on a set-piece ahead ball by Chad Dombrowski, scoring his 1st of the season, and the assist going to Pay. That's Aaron Pay assisting on the goal, and that's the way it ended up as the Rhinos did defeat the Minnesota Thunder 3-1. Looking at the unofficial stats on the night, I had unofficially the Rhinos with 11 shots and the Thunder with 10. Again, that unofficially I had the Rhinos leading in shots 11-10. Corner kicks, Minnesota had 6 and Rochester 2, and offsides, the Thunder 5 and Rochester 2. So those are your unofficial stats here tonight. All right, the Rhinos will be returning home before heading out for 2 more on the road. That'll be next weekend down in Richmond on Friday and Virginia Beach on Saturday. Now for the La Roca's Restaurant Player of the Game. Well, there's a lot of possibilities again tonight. When you win a game, there's a lot of choices. And I guess with the goal and an assist tonight, I'll go with Kirk Wilson. La Roca's Restaurant, the official pregame meal of the Rochester Raging Rhinos. La Roca's at 250 Pixley Road in Gates. For reservations or party house information, call 247-4350. And the play of the game, well, let's just go with the game-winning goal tonight, which was Wilson with a beautiful feed to Jonathan Bolanos, who put it away. Bolanos scoring his 4th of the season for the game winner, and we'll go with that as the play of the game tonight. Play of the game brought to you by Chase Pickett, home of the lifetime tool warranty. All right, that's going to wrap up my part of it here tonight from James Griffin Stadium in St. Paul, Minnesota. Coming up still, of course, is Tom Craver taking your call. Some more to come your way yet tonight. Stick with us for that. Final score tonight from Minnesota. The Rochester Raging Rhinos 3, Minnesota Thunder 1. And this is Raging Rhino Soccer on Fickle 93.3 FM.
From muscle cars to the SSR to Malibu and the new Cobalt. For generations, Chevy has been breaking the rules. Now we're rewriting them. For the first time ever, we're proud to announce the Chevy Employee Discount for everyone. You pay what we pay for almost every 2005 Chevy vehicle. Not a cent more. The Chevy Employee Discount for everyone. At participating dealers only. Take delivery by 7505. See dealer for details. See your local Chevy dealer.
What if you celebrated getting things done in your office the way you celebrate on the field?
Barry, our project just got funded. High five. Headbutt.
Barry, are you okay? Perhaps some celebrations are best left on the field. But when you hear this, you'll know things are getting done. To learn more about how Nextel can help you get more done, call 800-NEXTEL-9 or visit Nextel.com. Nextel. Done.
Gallo and Iacovangelo is a full-service law firm that has been serving the Rochester area for over 30 years. The experienced attorneys at Gallo and Iacovangelo are uniquely qualified to represent you in a variety of areas. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, need to draft a will, or are buying a house, Gallo and Iacovangelo provide you with the abilities of a large law firm, but give you the personal attention you'd expect from a smaller firm. Call them at 454-7145 or visit them online at gallolaw.com. Gallo and Iacovangelo. Progressive thought, traditional values, uncompromising strength.
Are you sick of drinking 3 pots of coffee throughout the day just to stay awake? It's time you discover Excess Energy products. For example, Excess Energy drinks have 0 carbs, 7 great flavors, and no sugar. And that's why you won't get the jitters and then crash 2 hours later. Plus, Excess protein shakes and energy bars are perfect substitutes for when you're on the go. Log on to accessrochester.com. It's the letter X, the letter S, then rochester.com. It'll then ask for a password. It's simple. Energy. Go ahead. accessrochester.com.
I'm Tom Rosati from Mallier Chevrolet Buick. You know, the guy who always says yes. Now with a lot more to say yes to. Mallier is Rochester's newest GM certified used car dealer with more than 200 General Motors certified used vehicles in stock. And with bumper-to-bumper warranty on these vehicles, you'll have the same peace of mind you have with a new car or truck. So take the short drive to Mallier in Honeyway Falls or check us out at Mallier.com.
Mallier Chevrolet Buick. We always say yes.
Rochester Raging Rhinos postgame show. Tom Craver here in the studio as the Rhinos coming on the upside of a 3-1 decision in Minnesota. The Rhinos now tied with the Richmond Kickers for first place in the USL First Division. Rhinos getting it on the board early in this game in the 20th minute after not seeing a shot on goal, not even seeing the ball in the Minnesota third of the field for that matter too much. Carvajal finding Kirk Wilson stretching down the sideline. Wilson breaking it in about the 15-yard box, or 15 yards out, and blast a left foot one just inside, getting it by the keeper, Warren from Minnesota. Rhinos were up 1-0 at that point. In the 65th minute, after the halftime break, Bolanos getting his goal, his fourth goal of the season. He got his from Kirk Wilson. So Wilson getting the assist and the goal earlier on. The Rhinos are up 2-0 in the 65th minute. And just 11 minutes later, Pato Aguilera getting his goal. No assist. He just went down on all of his own accord. And the Rhinos were up 3-0 at that point. Minnesota would get one back later in the game, but it was to no avail as the Rhinos move on to win 3-1 against the Minnesota Thunder. Again, the Rhinos now in second place, or actually, out of second place, tied for first place with the Richmond Kickers as they head off to Richmond this upcoming Friday night. Yes, that's 4 nights from now. The Rhinos at Richmond. That will be the battle for first place. One team will end up in first. One team will end up in second Friday night. And that's the final score from Minnesota. The Rhinos 3, the Minnesota Thunder 1. We'll be right back. After this is Raging Rhino Soccer on the all-new Pickle, 93.3 FM.
Hi, this is Penny Tenio. Did you know that oil is over $60 a barrel? Gas is already close to $3 a gallon. It's kind of scary. Natural gas is at an all-time high. It's expensive enough to feed a family these days, not to mention drive them all over the place. Start planning now. Most people don't think about it, but a new high-efficiency air conditioner and furnace will save you thousands of dollars. Call Tenino Home Service today, 671-6755. That's 671-6755. And Chris and I will do our best to help you save money and to stay comfortable. Chris just worked out a deal with York, so they'll pay for 10-year labor warranty on any equipment we order by the end of July. Now is the time to call. Normally, you could spend up to $600 for this warranty, and it's free right now. You can even finance without interest until January of 06 if you want. Call Tenino Home Service at 671-6755. That's 671-6755. And please remember, Tenino means integrity.
I wish those people would just shut up. All this noise is driving me crazy.
There is a way to soundproof, to rid daily annoying noises from your home and business. Call Native Sons at 615-7757. Native Sons is the quiet solutions soundproofing professional. But that's not all. Call Native Sons for all your home improvement needs. 615-7757. 615-7757.
Rochester Raging Rhinos post-game show. Tom Craver in the studio. Time now for the Free Time Magazine out-of-town scoreboard. Free Time Magazine is Western New York's premier arts and entertainment guide, available online anytime at freetime.com. Well, only one game going on in the USL First Division tonight, and that was Rhinos at the Minnesota Thunder, and the Rhinos coming up on the good side of that one, 3-1 from James Griffin Stadium in Minnesota. No other games going on until later on in the week. So that's about it for the Free Time Magazine out-of-town scoreboard. Coming up next, we will be happy to take your calls. 222-9393 is the phone number here. Talk about the Rhinos win, their move to first place. After only 17 games, the Rhinos now back up on top where they belong. This is Raging Rhinos Soccer on the all-new Pickle, 93.3 FM.
See it online at That's My
myvision.com. 1,500 vehicles at your fingertips. Every Vision Hyundai, Vision Ford, Vision Nissan, Vision Dodge. Online. That's myvision.com. Lets you compare vehicles side by side, calculate monthly payment, appraise your trade, and so much more. And since the Vision dealerships have over $10 million in approved loans, you'll get credit-free approval faster, easier, and securely. So car shop when you want it. At Vision, we're open 24/7 online. That's myvision.com.
Oh, yeah. See your vision now.
Mom? Dad? How long should I wait for you? Mom? If I'm at soccer practice, what if something happens? Will you come get me?
There's no reason not to have a plan in case of an emergency.
Mom, if you're not home, should we go to the neighbor's house?
And some extremely good reasons why you should.
Can you tell me?
Everybody should have a plan. Take 5 minutes to talk about where you'll meet and how you'll get in touch with each other in an emergency. For other things you can do to be prepared, visit www.ready.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Morgan Freeman. America's national park system is one of the best ideas our country ever had, and I've got a lifetime of memories to prove it. But our parks are in trouble. Inadequate funding and other pressures are risking some of America's most awe-inspiring places. To help, visit www.americansfornationalparks.org or call 1-800-NATPARK, 1-800-NAT-PARK. There's just too much to lose.
Hey fans, World Gym Rochester is the official strength and conditioning facility for your Rochester Rhinos, Rattler, Nighthawks, and Amerks. World Gym Rochester is proud to offer personal training packages tailored especially to your needs, including Apex A5 component system that assures you results. The Apex system is customized for you and your needs. Lose weight, improve your health, or just get in better shape. World Gym Rochester and Apex can help you reach your goals. Fun, high-energy group exercise classes like Rep Reebok are offered so you can work out with friends. Spinning, yoga, and Pilates are also great ways to work out and release stress and tension. And to make it more convenient, World Gym Rochester now offers a newly expanded child care hours. For more information, please stop by the gym at 1717 East Avenue, just west of the East Avenue and Whitten Road intersection, or call 271-0440. That's 271-0440.
Next up, it's your turn to sound off on tonight's game.
It's the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show.
We will take your call. We would love to take your call.
Driven by Auto Depot USA. Call in now. 222-9393.
And welcome to the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show driven by Auto Depot USA. Nextel helping get things done for your group. Call 800-NEXTEL-9 for power phones with walkie-talkie, GPS navigation, and speakerphone. Nextel done. And Auto Depot USA, 3-time Rochester's Choice Award winner, as Rochester's best selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. Auto Depot USA, unbeatable prices, unbeatable reputations in the Rhinos. Still unbeatable now. 5 games strong. The Rhinos unbeaten. Streak continues as they beat the Minnesota Thunder tonight by a score of 3-1. Rhino goals coming tonight from Wilson, Bolanos, and Pato Aguilera as the Rhinos putting down the Minnesota Thunder, and I think best of all, and I want to hear from you, back in first place, or actually in first place for the first time this year, but where most Rhinos fans will agree with, back in first place, up top where they belong, tied in first place with the Richmond Kickers. 222-9393 is the phone number here on the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show. We want to hear from you, the fans. Talk about tonight's game. Talk about the next upcoming 2 weekends. As the Rhinos going to Richmond this weekend, this Friday night, they'll be at Richmond. A quick stop in Virginia Beach right afterwards, and then the following weekend, back at home to host those same Richmond Kickers. Could be an interesting 2 weeks as the Rhinos and Richmond battling for first place in about 3 nights from tonight. 222-9393 is the number here on the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show. And first up is Brian. Brian, welcome to the show.
I promised you about me calling you, and here I am keeping that promise to you. You know, tonight was a good game tonight, but, you know, can I make a comment about Don Stevens? I don't know if you heard what he said, but he called the Rhinos the Amerks. Then he said, when the Rhinos said that they had the ball coming upfield, he said the Rhinos skate up upfield with the ball, and I was laughing at them. Like, Don, you're not doing hockey. This is soccer.
Hey, old habits die hard. It's okay. You know, he did a great job. The more important thing, though, you get the idea. If you're listening that intently, though, that you catch that, then you can actually get what he's really doing, which is giving you the visual of the entire field.
Yep. And you know what? These couple games coming up, you know what? I'm sure all the Rhino fans and all the callers who might call in tonight, I gotta agree with you. This game coming up against Richmond Kickers, I think it's gonna be a very exciting 2 matches coming up with the Richmond Kickers. And you nailed it right on the head, Tom. You said that first place is on the line. I tell you what, if the Rhinos come in and win Friday night, and if they put it this way, they sweep this trip with 9 points, like you said on the on the pregame, excuse me, I got mixed up there, then the Rhinos will look really much better for their playoff spot. And your other question about the games coming up at home, I cannot wait to see Bob Rayleigh and the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. And I tell you what, that's going to be somewhat like a rematch from that exhibition, but it's a 4th round match, in the 4th round match, if I'm right on that, in the U.S. Open Cup tournament.
Absolutely, it's the 4th round. So yeah, and I'm going to just disagree slightly. It's going to be better than a rematch of that exhibition match. It's going to be the real deal. It is win or go home, essentially, because that's what the U.S. Open Cup is all about. It's a tournament style. No, there's no double elimination. It's single elimination. You get beat, you are done.
Yep.
So that's the deal. And as far as overtime goes, just to refresh everybody for that match, that will be, if it's tied at the end of 90, there are 2 15-minute overtime periods, no golden goal. That's just how it works. You can score as many times as you want in both overtime periods, both of them being 15 minutes long. Yep. And in fact, we saw that last week when Minnesota beat Real Salt Lake. They scored twice, once in the first overtime, once in the second overtime, and that's how you get a 6-4 scoreline at the end of extra time.
Yep, and then it's so important, especially not only with the regular season matches, but in the U.S. Open Cup tournament. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome, Brian. Thanks for the call. 222-9393 is the phone number here on the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show. The Rhinos and the Minnesota Thunder 3-1 tonight as the Rhinos move themselves into a first-place tie with the Richmond Kickers. The Rhinos having a slight edge with the 1 game in hand. The Richmond Kickers have played 18 games so far, a 10-6-2 record for their 32 points. The Rhinos a 10-5-2 record, 1 less loss, same amount of points, 1 game in hand, which could come in very handy toward the end of the season. However, the downside of that is Montreal has the fewest games played so far in the entire league. They have 4 games in hand on the Rhinos now after tonight's match. They're 8-0-5, but still the only unbeaten team so far. They are only 3 points behind the Rhinos now. But again, with 4 games in hand on the Rhinos, anything can happen when things catch up and turn around. Now, turning our attention to this Friday night. Again, we've said it before. Rhinos in first place with the Richmond Kickers. They go to Richmond on Friday night. This, folks, is where the season gets interesting. We're past the halfway point. We're closing in on the playoffs. The top 6 teams make it. Right now, as it stands, the Rhinos and the Kickers tied for first. Montreal, sole possession of third place. Vancouver and Seattle tied for fourth. The 6th place spot is a tie right now, tossed up between Atlanta and Charleston. Charleston has played 2 more games, so Atlanta has 2 games in hand on them. They each have 6 wins and 3 ties, so and 21 points. And that would be your top 6 right now, top 7 actually, technically there. But the Rhinos going to Richmond now, Friday night. The Rhinos have a chance to walk out of University of Richmond Stadium with a 3-point advantage in sole possession of first place. Big deal. Friday night, other action going on. You will see Puerto Rico at Charleston. That'll help Charleston figure out where they're going to be in that 6th place tie. Montreal is at Toronto. Toronto got their 2nd win, and they did it pretty decisively against Richmond not too long ago. Don't count out the Lynx, but the Montreal Impact should make an easy go of that one. It's very possible the Lynx draw even point-wise with the Rhinos as their game ends just a half hour before the Rhinos game does. So, give Montreal the proverbial 3 points for the moment. We're just going to presuppose here, okay? That would give them 32 points as well. The Rhinos and Richmond, someone has to win. Could be a tie. If it's a tie, then Rochester and Richmond both hold on to a slim one-point lead over Montreal for the first place spot. However, if there is a clear and decisive winner after Friday night's match, that will be the first place team. The other one will be tied with Montreal for second place after Friday night. Cue Saturday night. Rhinos at Virginia Beach. Again, Virginia Beach struggling, but they just beat Charleston. They got their third win of the season. Any given night, anything can happen. Virginia Beach Sports Complex Saturday night right after the Rhinos and Richmond Kickers. Rhinos have a very strong possibility of taking 6 points and pulling away from the pack just ever so slightly by the time this weekend is over. Richmond has no more matches. After Friday night against the Rhinos, they will be well rested for an entire week until they see the Rhinos again the following Saturday, July 30th. So they'll have 7 full days off before they see the Rhinos again. If Rhinos win, you know they will be looking for revenge. Montreal has 2 games the following weekend as well. They'll be starting to catch up, close in on the Rhinos at that point. But so much going on, you don't want to miss a single week. Also, Friday night's match on TV. Tune in to Fox Sports Channel, Fox Soccer Channel, as it's newly renamed for this season. Fox Soccer Channel having the Rhinos at the Richmond Kickers, the battle for first place. That will be something you don't want to miss. And, of course, we'll be here to take your calls after that one, too. Take your calls now as well. 222-9393 is the phone number here. You want to call in from afar. This is the Raging Rhinos postgame show on the all-new Pickle 93.3 FM.
I really wanted to help the homeless, so I donated money to a shelter, which gets them a hot meal and a bed for the next day they're on the street again. So I started working at a job training center, but the only jobs most of them can get pay minimum wage, so they can't afford a place to live. Now they can't go back to shelters because most of the shelters lost their funding when the budget emphasis shifted from housing to job training.
Saving the world isn't easy, but saving a life is. And just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. Visit bloodsaves.com to learn more. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Ad Council.
Imagine stepping off a plane from Italy. You're famished. If only you could taste the same sumptuous food you just left in Tuscany. Come to Portobello Ristorante. Only Portobello has the authentic Italian cucina taste you find in Italy today. Come, savor their fresh summer specials like metallo tonnato, a chilled veal dish with pureed tuna and capers. But come, Paolo Vitale, your host, invites you to Portobello Ristorante, West Henrietta Road, just south of the Route 390 exit. Portobello Ristorante, we're authentic and we're family.
We lead very busy lives these days. So many demands, so much stress. There's just not enough time to get everything done. Come home to stress-free apartment living at Blueberry Hill. Luxury and excellence are built right in. Amenities above and beyond other rental units are included. Concierge service is just a phone call away. Let them take care of you. Call 889-7250 and make an appointment and see why Blueberry Hill makes life worth living.
Whenever he needed information, Bob went to his old man.
Daddy, how come flagpoles have that metal ball on top?
That's actually solid milk chocolate wrapped in foil, Bobby. A prize for anybody who can reach it.
Huh.
When Bob grew up, though, he realized Dad's info just wasn't cutting it.
Dad, why do bowling balls have 3 holes?
Well, Robert, look at the game's toughest shot, the 7-10 split. What's 10 minus 7?
3.
There you go, 3 holes.
I can't take it anymore. I'm out of here. Where do I get a change of address form?
Just slip your new address under your pillow, and the change of address fairy will leave you the proper form.
Luckily, there's firstgov.gov, where Bob not only found his form, but all kinds of useful government information. He can search government auctions for a car to get the heck out of there, and get student loan info to go to college, so he'll have a leg up on Dad.
Hey!
He can even request his birth record to verify they're related.
I did. We are.
I'm sorry, can't help you with that. Log on or email firstgov.gov. It's government made easy.
And welcome back to the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show driven by Auto Depot USA, 3-time Rochester Choice Award winner as Rochester's best selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. Auto Depot USA, unbeatable prices, unbeatable reputation. And Nextel, proud supporter of the Rhinos, helping your group get things done. Call 800-NEXTEL-9 for power phones with walkie-talkie, GPS navigation, and speakerphone. Nextel, done. The Rhinos getting it done tonight, the first game of a 3-match road trip, or they'll swing them from Minnesota, quickly stopping home in Rochester and back down to Virginia. The Rhinos beating the Minnesota Thunder tonight 3-1 out at James Griffin Stadium in Minnesota. Goals tonight from Wilson, Bolanos, and Pato Aguilera. Again, as the Rhinos come up 3-1 against the Minnesota Thunder, moving themselves in the first place with the Richmond Kickers. 222-9393 is the phone number here on the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show. Next up, we have Nicole. Nicole, welcome to the show.
Hey.
How are you?
Wonderful.
Did you listen to the game tonight?
I definitely did.
All right, lay your advice on us. Lay your wonderful words of soccer wisdom on us.
Am I supposed to have those?
You usually do. You got props from Adam last week.
I know, definitely. But it would have been a great game to watch, actually. It sounded like it was an exciting game. Maybe it was just Don Stevens. I don't know, but
it was hit and miss all game long.
Yeah, but were they playing on turf? Because it seemed like everybody was hurting their ankles.
Yeah, it was. It was a new. I don't know if it was next turf per se or what exactly it was. It was an artificial surface, and it was a more narrow field too, only 65 yards wide tonight. So lot of tight play and a lot of just weird reactions, I guess, from the players out there.
Yeah, because it seemed like every few seconds somebody would be like falling over. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But,
No, I was just agreeing with you. That's all.
Oh. But I mean, it doesn't sound like a good game. Do we know what Perry did to his ankle, or is it?
Don didn't say. He couldn't see from his vantage point. He did. Perry did stay out during halftime or most of halftime, and he was sitting with the ice on his ankle pretty much the entire rest of the match, and didn't do much motion at all. I was talking to Don during some of the breaks, and his exact quote was, "Wow, this doesn't look good." So hopefully it's not as bad as it actually looked from where, I don't know how far away his vantage point was. James Griffin Stadium is not the hugest of stadiums. They're not, Minnesota is not at the old stadium they used to be at. So I'm sure his vantage point was quite good, and we'll have to see what the status of Perry is. Hopefully we'll definitely know that by the time the next game rolls around. If Coach calls in tonight, maybe we can get a little update on that.
Yeah, because it sounded like it was pretty bad, so I was just wondering.
He was down for quite some time. He was down for about 4 minutes, and that's part of the breaks, unfortunately. And the Rhinos gonna have to learn to play on this. They have played. I mean, inside at Total Sports Experience where they practice, there is artificial surfaces there, but different. There's 3 different types of that new turf that's out there now. So each
that's
one.
That's always hard to play on too, because you get worn out so easy playing on it. Like it's a hard surface, and the ball moves so much faster on it too. So.
Well, it's not like the AstroTurf, that really hard stuff. It's the rubberized stuff that's that artificial like real grass, and it emulates the grass. I'm not quite sure if it's the same stuff that the Rhinos will have in Paysack Park. I know that's gonna be the really good stuff, the stuff you can comb and put patterns in and everything too. But it is one of the newer style of turfs. But still, yeah, any turf is gonna be difficult to play on, a little tougher than grass.
Yeah. So all the goals sound like they're great goals. I mean, and Kirk Wilson, he had the goal and an assist.
Yeah, he had a great game tonight. In fact, it was really funny because Don was just commenting. I was just kind of dazing out, in and out, thinking about it was a slow start to the match, and most of the match was a little slow. I'll be honest, I was fading in and out a little bit. Manyanger was really bringing it to the Rhinos. Alberto had a couple nice shots, and some of these things were coming out of nowhere all of a sudden, and I'm like, wow. This is great. The Rhinos have no shots on goal. They're having a hard time getting out of the midfield, and Minnesota's flinging these shots left and right out of nowhere. And then the next thing I knew, Don's like saying, "Oh yeah, Carlisle to Wilson," and Wilson was taking off down the side of the field, and his goal, first shot of the game, first goal out of nowhere. So it's kind of what it was like all night long. It was one of those where it's nothing. Hey, look at that, and
They obviously worked on their finishing.
They obviously did. They had 2 shots in the first half, and one of them was a goal. 11 shots on the game. These are unofficial. The league hasn't given me any stats yet. In fact, they rarely do. But going off of what Don's numbers are, and he's been right on most season long, 11 shots on goal for the Rhinos, and 3 goals out of that. That's not bad at all. Bad numbers whatsoever.
But Wilson and Carvajal seem to work really well together. I mean, like, through pretty much all the games, they seem to work well together, so.
Well, Wilson seems to have it out for Minnesota, too. He did it last year. He did it last game here, too. He had that gorgeous header. And again, coming from Carvajal. You get a couple good players out there that know how to talk to each other and can almost read each other's minds, and that's what you need. Bolanos' goal was from Wilson, not from Carvajal tonight, which was interesting. Bolanos' first game back, and he right in the thick of things, getting his 4th goal of the season, trying to get right back up in there. So.
Yeah, he sounded like he had a good game back. I want to watch him play this year.
He wasn't overcommitting himself. You didn't hear his name called out a ton, but when it was there, he was getting things done. Carvajal, you got a feel for the guy. He had a couple good looks, a couple near misses right off the crossbar. I mean, and 2 right in a row, in like 7-8 minutes apart. He hit the post. His second post, he was through on goal. It was from what it sounds like, and Don does set it up pretty well. He was looking. I think Don called out. He was looking for the offside flag. But Carvajal getting through on goal and just careened it right off the post. He actually had to hop over Warren on the shot. He had put that much force behind his body and behind everything else. When the shot came off the post, it bounced out too far, and the ball bounced so far out that Wilson was behind Warren. Warren caught the ball and brought everything downfield. In fact, he brought it out of that box so fast that Minnesota went offside right after that punt downfield. So, but no, you got to feel for Carvajal. He's right there on the doorstop each time, and he almost had a couple tonight. Again, hit the post twice that I counted.
Yeah, he seems like he sets a lot of things up, even if it's not necessarily a goal. He sets up like a lot of the play. So.
And I think that's what the league's starting to see. I mean, the Rhinos' leading scorers right now. You've got Kirk Wilson. He's got 8 goals. Okay, fine. After tonight, he's got 3 assists as well. So he is the leading scorer. The next leading scorer is Bolanos, actually. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists. John Ball has 3 goals, and Carvajal has 2 goals. There really, aside from Wilson, there really isn't anybody that's a standout, hey, you got to mark him. I mean, Bolanos is great. Ball is dangerous. Carvajal has the footwork and the speed. If he doesn't pull people away from you, he's going to take some great shots. I look back to that game in Atlanta about 3 weeks ago where he was inside the 6-yard box on the right-hand side of the box and shot the ball into the far inside netting on the left-hand side. I mean, impossible angles, he's getting it done. If he gets a good look and he's that close, he'll take it. And he's dangerous in and of his own accord, too, but so is his footwork and his passing. So there's too many people. I mean, every team should have this problem, but there's too many people out there that have the skills and have the talent. And the fun part is that they can actually work together when they're all on their game.
Yeah, and I think once we're playing on, like, a larger field, too, it's going to look so much better because there's going to be more space to do stuff and to get open and to be able to make better passes and everything, so.
Absolutely. Now, the game, you're going to get to see a game, because the game is on TV Friday night. You know that, right?
Yep.
Fox Soccer Channel. Yep, Up Soccer Channel. They've changed it this year. I flipped up before, too, so.
Same thing.
Yeah, more or less, yep. But absolutely, and that will be, it is the battle for first place. Richmond and Rochester both tied at first, and wow, who would have thought after the first few games? The Rhinos lost to Vancouver, beat Puerto Rico, and then went on to lose the next 3 games and then tied Montreal. After that, it was a completely different story.
Yeah.
But after the first 5-6 games here, you almost had to wonder. The Rhinos starting off with 1 win, 3 losses and a tie. 4 losses. Check that. 4 losses. 1-4 and 1. The Rhinos started off, and who would have thought that just 8 games later they'd be sitting up in first place?
Yeah, they really turned the season around. So only good things to come.
Absolutely, which means we need to see more butts in the field or in the stadium. Rhinos' next home game is July 30th against the Richmond Kickers. Right? They're going to play this weekend against Richmond and Virginia Beach, and the following weekend, Rhinos back home on a Saturday car night to take on the Richmond Kickers for the second time in 2 weeks.
Well, I'll be in Florida, but I'll definitely listen to the game.
You better be.
I will. But I think it'll be great to get, a lot of fans out there, at least 14,000 like we used to have. That was always a great time. It was always a great atmosphere to go out and have at least 14,000 fans there pretty much every game. So.
And the secret here is that the players want to see that and want to more specifically hear that.
Exactly.
So everybody come out and join whatever your favorite section is. You want to sit in the shade where the concourse is. You want to sit in the bleachers closer to the field. You want to sit.
Bleachers are the best place to sit.
I love the bleachers myself.
That's where I used to always go to the games with Cheryl Clayson. She used to or she still gets season tickets, and before I moved, I used to go to pretty much every single home game with her. She was the one who really got me into the Rhinos. So.
All righty. Well, Nicole, you have a good time in Florida. Thank you so much for calling in.
I definitely call from Florida, but I don't leave till the 27th, so.
Okay, well, it's so you'll be here for next week's game against Richmond, or this weekend's game against Richmond.
Yeah, so I'll be able to watch that.
Watch it on TV and call in. We'll all talk about it. All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Thanks, Nicole. 222-9393 is the phone number here on the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show. The Rhinos and the Thunder playing 3-1. The Rhinos on the victory end of the world. Stay tuned. We'll take more of your calls coming up next. This is Raging Rhino Soccer on the all-new Fickle 93.3 FM.
We lead very busy lives these days. So many demands, so much stress. There's just not enough time to get everything done. Come home to stress-free apartment living at Blueberry Hill. Luxury and excellence are built right in. Amenities above and beyond other rental units are included. Concierge service is just a phone call away. Let them take care of you. Call 889-7250 and make an appointment and see why Blueberry Hill makes life worth living.
Gallo & Iacovangelo is a full-service law firm that has been serving the Rochester area for over 30 years. The experienced attorneys at Gallo & Iacovangelo are uniquely qualified to represent you in a variety of areas. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, need to draft a will, or are buying a house, Gallo & Iacovangelo provide you with the abilities of a large law firm, but give you the personal attention you'd expect from a smaller firm. Call them at 454-7145 or visit them online at gallolaw.com. Gallo & Iacovangelo. Progressive thought, traditional values, uncompromising strength.
Every generation of Volvo has been committed to safety and saving lives. Visit Best Volvo, like Volvo owner Peter Parks.
I was in a horrendous accident where an oncoming driver had fallen asleep and hit me head on. I'm absolutely convinced I would have never walked away had it been any other car.
Test drive the Volvo XC90, the world's safest SUV, only at Best Volvo, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together to save lives. 1500 University Avenue.
The Connolly Printing Company congratulates the Rochester Raging Rhinos on their 10th anniversary season. Just like the Rhinos, at Connolly Printing, they continue to strive for excellence. They've been serving Rochester for over 100 years, and their goal is meeting today's sophisticated printing demands head-on. Connolly Printing's technology and computer graphics, pressroom and bindery equipment, as well as their employees' expertise, will guarantee you're a satisfied, loyal customer well into the future, turning your printing nightmares into creative dreams. Connolly Printing, 426-4150.
I'm Tom Rosati from Mallier Chevrolet Buick. You know, the guy who always says yes, now with a lot more to say yes to. Mallier is Rochester's newest GM certified used car dealer, with more than 200 General Motors certified used vehicles in stock. And with bumper-to-bumper warranty on these vehicles, you'll have the same peace of mind you have with a new car or truck. So take the short drive to Mallier in Honeoye Falls, or check us out at Mallier.com.
Mallier Chevrolet Buick, we always say yes.
To the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show driven by Auto Depot USA. Nextel, proud supporter and fan of the Rhinos, helping your group get things done. Call 800-NEXTEL-9 for power phones with walkie-talkie, GPS navigation, and speakerphone. Nextel, done. And Auto Depot USA, unbeatable prices, unbeatable reputation, as the Rhinos extend their unbeaten streak tonight now to 5 matches, beating the Minnesota Thunder by a score of 3-1. We're going to toss out our first trivia question of the night tonight. This will be for 4 tickets to the July 30th match against the Richmond Kickers when they come to town. Tonight's trivia question brought to you by Crocodile Rock Entertainment, Rochester's home for Game Show Mania, DJ services, and customizable trivia fun for everyone. Call 594-2112 or www.crocodj.com. Tonight's trivia question, the Rhinos won 3-1 against the Minnesota Thunder tonight. That scoreline we've seen 2 other times this season before. Who did the Rhinos beat? There's 2 teams to choose from. Just give me one of them. Who did the Rhinos beat by a score of 3-1 so far this season? I'll even throw a hint out there. They were both home matches. They were both Rhinos playing at Frontier Soccer Stadium. Again, Aside from Minnesota tonight, who did the Rhinos beat by a 3-1 score line? And that said, the Rhinos back up in first place now, tied with the Richmond Kickers after tonight's 3-1 victory against the Minnesota Thunder, setting the stage for next weekend's action as the Rhinos going to take on the Richmond Kickers in the battle for first place. We'll run down the USL First Division at the moment. Richmond up in top in first place with the Rhinos, 32 points. Montreal, again, as we said before, right behind in third place with 29 points. Vancouver and Seattle in fourth with 27. Atlanta and Charleston with in tie for sixth place with 21 points. Portland, Puerto Rico have 8th and 9th respectively. Minnesota in 10th now after tonight's loss. Virginia Beach in 11th and Toronto in the basement. Having their second win, however, though, as the Toronto Lynx getting their second win just a couple nights ago this past weekend. And that was that. They got their second win. 2-2-2. 93, they beat Seattle Sounders, actually, on Saturday night. Seattle, after they played in Rochester, they went off to Toronto. And Toronto getting it done up there. 2-2-2. 93 is the phone number here. And perhaps with our first guest at trivia is Jerome. Welcome, George.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, George.
Not Jerome, it's George.
It's George. Well, our producer, Camp David, has really scribbly handwriting, and he was writing on top of a paper airplane on top of it. So.
Oh, it's okay.
So it's George?
Oh, yeah.
All right, George.
The trivia, I would like to say Puerto Rico, the first home game.
It was. As a matter of fact, ding, 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 you win. Puerto Rico. The Rhinos beat them 3-1. It was the first home game back on May 7th.
Yep.
The other team you could have chosen was Portland, the Timbers. That was on June 3rd. Also a 3-1 victory for the Rhinos.
Yeah, I missed that game.
That's right. That was another good game. It was another breakout game for the Rhinos. As they started really moving into their own at that point in the season. George, did you listen to the game tonight?
Yes, I did. Right after work.
Any comments?
Well, thank God Jonathan Bolanos is back. Sounded good. Good subs. Galloway's really doing a good job. I'm pretty proud of the team now. Last year we were in pretty big of trouble in mid-season. Not really much to say.
Well, you know, what can you say? The Rhinos. I think you just said a mouthful there. Last season, the Rhinos were having trouble at the midway point of the season. Right now, this season, they're really starting to come into their own and really take charge of their own destiny here. As again, in the past, 10 games, they've moved themselves out of the basement and into first place. I mean, the Rhinos at one point in time were the 11th place team. The teams like Virginia Beach and Toronto that we kind of poke fun at now, that was the Rhinos just a month and a half ago. So yeah, definitely props to Coach Lori Calloway.
Oh yeah, seems like a good guy.
He is a very good guy. He's a very genuine guy. He big family atmosphere kind of man. If you were at that first home game of the year, you saw his introductions. You saw him introduce his family personally.
Yeah.
And him and all the players are like family. The big whole LaRocca's dinner before games and whatnot, and just being a big family. Everybody cares about everybody else and looking out for everybody else. And it's really starting to show forth on the field now as the team really comes into their own. All right, George, you have 4 tickets for the Richmond Kickers game, July 30th.
All right, yeah.
All right, we're going to leave those for you at will call. If you hold on 1 second, our producer, Camp David, here will get down the information and hopefully write it on something a little more stable than that paper airplane.
Can I just ask you one thing?
Absolutely.
What is your prediction for Friday's game?
I don't give predictions. I've made that my personal policy. Nope. I will say this much. It looks that Richmond has everything to play for right now. They've enjoyed it comfortably at the top. They've gotten a little shaken lately. They've actually had 6 losses now. And they're starting to look a little weary. I mean, to lose to Charleston, don't get me wrong. I've always thought Charleston was a solid side, and there is nothing at all wrong with losing to Charleston. But a team like Virginia and the way Charleston is playing this past year, Charleston wins 1-0 on an own goal by Richmond. So they have everything to prove right now, playing the Rhinos, which every team steps up for.
Yep.
Playing it on their own home turf, so pride is at stake in front of their hometown fans.
Yeah.
And frankly, getting a slap in the face in their own hometown, in their own University of Richmond Stadium just a couple nights ago, at the hands of Charleston Battery. They were fudging up that own goal, and Charleston doesn't score anything. But
it might have just peaked, actually. Richmond.
Yeah, they may be on the downward spiral. I'm not going to predict at this point. I really haven't seen them up close and personal. I've only just read lots and lots of archives and seen some video footage here and there. So I don't want to make a prediction, but I will say this much: the Rhinos are starting to come into their own. Richmond has had a little shaky trouble lately.
And Montreal, they haven't been a high-scoring team. I say if we play against Montreal, they're going to be in pretty much trouble. They're pretty much all defense right now.
They are. And
they just tied 1-1 on Saturday, I believe, with Thunder that we just played.
Yeah, and in fact, they scored the early goal in that game. That was actually Friday night. And the Thunder getting one back at the end of the game. And in fact, if you went online and saw that they actually had the goal, that game was on TV on Friday night. If you didn't catch it on TV, the goal was online rather quickly from the USL website, and it was Biello getting the goal. And it looked like it was almost a cross, but the keeper decided to try to catch it and stop it. And unfortunately,
it was like an own goal. Yeah, I don't even know what the people were thinking on that one.
Oh my goodness, it was horrible. So
it could have been 1-0 Thunder, but maybe not because Montreal would have played harder.
Montreal would have played harder, but again, what you got to keep in mind, and the dangerous part about Montreal right now is yes, they're very defensive. They've always known how to stack the back. Anybody who's watched a Montreal game can tell you that. They're undefeated, and they got ahead about themselves. They have only allowed 6 goals.
Yeah, that is Sutton's still goalie, right?
No, he's up in the Canadian national team right now.
Who's the goalie now?
Aguilera is in the nets right now. He gave up an own goal about 3 weeks ago. And he's the one who let that, or actually not, it was the Minnesota goalkeeper that let that slow one in. But he's not a bad keeper. He's their backup. He's played for them before. He's been around this league. He's no stranger to the league. He's not a bad keeper. But he needs that Montreal defense to really. I mean, that's the key. If you look at some numbers here and there, you look at somebody like Valo, who has seen 110 shots, but he's only had to make 50-something saves. Whereas opposed to like Seattle, the night Preston Burpo has seen 160 shots and he's made like 80 saves. You know, it all comes down to your defense in front of you. And back when Billy Sedgwick was released by the Rhinos for that brief half a week there,
it was kind of in shambles, pretty much.
Well, he inquired with Montreal, and Montreal actually turned him down and said, "No, sorry, we're happy with our defense right now. They're playing as a unit. They're doing their thing." And to be that comfortable that you don't want to look at a player the caliber of Billy Sedgwick, who used to play for your team, A, still has a house in the offseason, lives in Montreal, B,
has a wife in Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal, a whole life in Montreal for that matter, Yeah. And to not to just turn him down flat out and say, no, we like our defense, that says something right there about the confidence of the coach, the confidence of the organization. And you still look at it. Their goals against
the championship team, like all the people left from last year, I do believe.
Absolutely. I mean, there's very few. I think there's two starters that weren't there last season.
Ali Gerba.
And Gerba used to be. I mean, he's kind of the funny guy in Montreal. He's been there. He was away. He was back again. He was away. Now he's back for a third time, and he's back this time because Frank was a new coach. Bob Lilly didn't care for him too much when Bob Lilly went to Montreal as a coach. He left. New coach in town now. Nick DeSantis, yep. And, Gerba wasn't working out in Toronto, and he's like, I want to be traded. And then he had a talk with DeSantis. DeSantis always liked him and said, hey, come on back. We want you. And look what he's done over there. He didn't do anything for Toronto. I think he may have had a goal. I have to go back and double-check that. But he didn't really do much for Toronto in like 7-8 games. Went to Montreal and immediately scored 3 goals in like 4 games. So Montreal is going to be the side right now. Richmond will fall ultimately, whether it's this weekend, the following weekend, or just by the end of the season. Richmond will fall. They won't fall far. They'll end up in third, fourth. I'll make that prediction. But
I'm pretty scared about Montreal in the end. I really don't want to face them in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, idealistically, the Rhinos shouldn't. The way it's going to work is teams 1 and 2, the first and second place teams will have a bye.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 will play 6. 4 will play 5. Then they will reseed. If 3 and 4 win, 1 will play 4 and 2 will play 3. If the lowest and the highest will always play, so they'll keep reseeding all the way through. It won't be a bracket per se. It'll be by position. So chances are, if the Rhinos see Montreal, it won't be till a final. if this keeps going like this, because right now where I'm looking prediction-wise is long-term down the road for end of season, and I'll say it'll be Rochester and Montreal up top, 1 and 2. I don't know who's going to be who. I won't make that prediction.
Well, kind of hard right now, though.
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
absolutely.
league is like neck and neck.
It's incredible.
The league is amazing this year.
3 points separate first and third for with Richmond, Rochester up with 32 points, Montreal right with 29. But then from third place down to sixth place, it's only 8 points. And 29 for Montreal, 27 for the two fourth place teams that share the tie there, Vancouver and Seattle, and then 21, 20, 19, 18 points for the teams from 6th down to 10th. So that last number 6 spot, it's going to come down to the wire. And it's all going to depend on who's got the better position. Charleston right now is looking like they'll fall off the table. They have the most games played so far. They're still sitting in a tie for 6th. But you look at a team like Portland, who can pull it on strong at the end of the season. If you talk to Joe Giuliano at any great length, Puerto Rico's in 9th place. They have 19 points. They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. They played 16 games. That's 2 in hand they have over 3 in hand they have over Charleston, 1 in hand they have over Rochester, 2 over Richmond. I mean, Puerto Rico with 2 well-placed wins toward the end of the season can really jump. Again, you look at Friday night's game against Seattle. Had the Sounders won, they would have moved from 5th place all the way up over the Rhinos into 2nd place.
Yeah, that was actually quite a scary game. I did not want to lose that.
I'll tell you what, it makes you wonder, where we would be with the bonus point ban. And they took it out, a couple of years ago, but if that bonus point for scoring 3 goals in a game was still in place, and there was more motivation to score that 3rd goal instead of sitting on a 2-goal lead, for example, if you were in that position, it'd make you wonder where the status of this league would be. Although the Rhinos would have had the bonus point several times over now.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, they've actually put it together, and even when they were up, kept pressing on. Again, tonight's a good example of that with Pato's goal late in the game.
Our scoring is amazing, but when it comes to home, pretty much I would say disadvantage.
How's that?
Well, you know how we used to win like 3-0, 4-0 a lot during like 90s?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of changed. I don't know. What are we scoring? Like 1.5 goals per game at home?
All right, I'm not going to make an excuse here, but I'm going to throw something at you. How many teams were in the league back then?
Oh, wow. There were a lot.
Yeah, there was like 28 at one point. I think there was actually 31 or 2 at one point. It was an odd number for a while there. There was 4 divisions. There was 2, halves of the league, if you will. And you had teams in there like El Paso. You had teams in there like the California Jaguars who at one point, just ran out of budget money, ran out of everything. All the players quit because they had no paychecks. So they brought in a bunch of amateurs playing in the 2nd division soccer in the United States of America. They brought in a bunch of amateur players and college players, and I think there might have been a couple high school kids in there. They were playing for like $100 a game or something really stupid. Whatever the gate take was, that's what they were playing. I mean, more or less, that's what it was. El Paso, same thing. They had problems paying for postage stamps at one point in time. I mean, that's the kind of caliber teams that were in the A-League, and you got to give credit to Francisco Marcos, who has taken the USL. I mean, everybody's got 2 minds of him, either love him or hate him, but he's really taken the USL and really made a nice league out of it. You look at a team like the Western Mass Pioneers. The Rhinos started seeing them in 98 and 99 in Open Cup play when they were a PDL team, and then they moved to the D3 League, which is now gone, and now they're 2nd division. And there's almost, unofficially, but there's almost a relegation system now in the USL. And 12 teams, you sit and you go down the list and you look at who's here. I mean, really, again, we'll run down the list. Richmond, Rochester, Montreal, all great sides. Vancouver, Seattle, and Portland, throw in the West Coast there. The West Coast has always been strong. Atlanta and Charleston. Atlanta's been up and down and seen their up and down, but they're ahead in the standings right now. Puerto Rico, they're a second-year team, but they're really getting their stuff together. They're not out of it, mathematically speaking, by any stretch of the imagination. They're still in the thick of it for one of the last place spots there. Minnesota used to be a powerhouse, has gone up and down a couple times. They beat the Rhinos twice last year. Virginia Beach, they're kind of starting to fall. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw them relegated down in one of the following years. And Toronto, who seems to stay in the league. And frankly, they give the Rhinos a hard time no matter when they play.
Well, they fight anyone. They're fighting for pride right now. I would see them spoiling some 2nd or 1st place teams, just beating them just for pride.
And that's just it. They're trying to get things done. They have a fabulous group of supporters up there. Really crazy ones too.
Oh yeah, wow. Not as crazy as Montreal, though.
It's debatable. It depends on your level of crazy. It depends on how you're in it, what category of crazy that is. But yeah, I mean, dedicated fans, committed fans, or at least they should be. No, no, really good fans, and they always seem to manage to make a good go, and they've stabilized their budget situations that they had a few years back, so they're stable. But then you look at teams like, again, Wilmington Hammerheads have been very stabilized, but they're off in the second division now. But they used to be a D3 league team. And you're seeing a very slight, very compacting of the different divisions in the different leagues. And your teams like California, El Paso is still alive and kicking in the PDL, the development league, the amateur league. So that's kind of part of the reason, in that long-winded explanation, that's part of the reason why you're seeing the Rhinos having a little harder time of it now. I mean, the teams have definitely qualified. You have all those teams. You had 28, 30 teams in the league. You had a whole pool of talent, but only a handful of them were good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who had the more money? It certainly wasn't the El Pasos and and the Atlantas. Sometimes it was the Rhinos. It was the Impact. It was the Kickers. It was all the teams out in the Northwest. So now that you have less teams and they want to play the top, it's either MLS or it's USL First Division. And even still, somebody like Mateo is playing for Minnesota. I mean, you've got some good talent and they're on some good sides. And with 12 teams in the league, they've gone back to that single table now, just like European leagues. You've got a serious talent pool in the USL First Division, and it's not going to be an easy win anymore.
Yeah, definitely not, unfortunately. But in other words, you're going to see really good soccer.
Well, that's not a bad thing, though, is it?
No, I actually enjoy it. Although I do get really mad at games, yes, I do enjoy watching the quality.
There are some, and this will be a whole question for another night, but there are some who will say that they've seen some really, I'm one of them, really entertaining 0-0 matches. You're frustrated, you want to see shots go in, you want to see whatever, but you do see some really great saves, and you see Vale turning himself into a human slinky, and whoever else at the other end being a giant rubber band and bouncing off things. I mean, it can still be a very entertaining game. You can have some great passes, and I mean, like Wilson tonight, threw on goal, Paso at the very end of the game, running so far and getting through on goal. Carvajal was through on goal a couple times, and the Rhinos, I think what stat we overlooked tonight, the Rhinos only had 2 offside all night tonight.
Doug Miller. Although I love the guy, he has a little problem.
Hey, it's the sign of a good striker, though, if they're offside. It means they're trying to do their job.
He's always been the great guy in the Rhinos.
And you can't knock him. He's still at the very top of a lot of different scoring lists and
how's he doing?
Tables. He I had the notes on him a couple weeks ago. He had re-injured himself in one of the practices. But he's still doing his thing, and they're trying to get him back into the swing of things. Craig Demon, same thing.
Yeah. What's with him?
He had a couple really good practices last week. I haven't seen the status. I will definitely have it by this weekend.
I heard he wasn't having any pain, but I don't know. I don't think he wants to push it.
You got to remember about both players too.
The age.
They're getting up there in age. You want to make the most of your comeback when you do come back. You want to make the most of your. This is Doug. He went on record saying this is going to be his final season. If he sticks to that now, then he wants to make the most of it when he comes back and doesn't want to be injured for life. Demon, same thing. So, it's a matter of Jamal Mitchell did the same thing a few years ago, and he was younger then. He had that injury. He had the choice of coming in or, without a shadow of a doubt, making sure he was better sitting out the entire season and coming back and being completely solid. And unfortunately, they're not utilizing him as much as they could be. Should be, I won't go, but could be. And
he had quite a few nice strikes. The Charleston one especially.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Full stride, didn't stop for a moment, and put that ball perfectly in that upper part of the net.
Yeah, I was not expecting that actually. That was wow.
And there's your entertaining soccer that we were just talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what you want to see. And if it's only one goal for the game, so be it. It's only one goal.
Yeah.
That one goal you're still talking about 4 weeks later.
Two teams played till death.
I still look back to the last Minnesota game. That was July 8th. It was a week and a half ago. Do you remember that it was one goal? It was in the 60th minute, I believe. It was.
Wasn't it Kirk Wilson?
It was Kirk Wilson, and he had that beautiful cross. I can't remember if it was from Mladenoff or Carvajal right now, but the cross came in. Wilson was at the very top of the box, right at the corner of the semicircle, and put his whole body into that one. He rainbowed it right into the upper right corner. And again, you look at that and you say, okay, where was the GPS satellite, and how did he put that in that corner so perfectly? I mean, right over the outstretched keeper's arms. I mean, he plopped it in there perfectly, and that's the kind of goals you want to see. The nice build up, the great cross, and you watch that ball go right in. And hopefully we'll see that on Friday night, right?
Oh, yeah. First place, let's bring back the fans.
Let me turn it around. Are you going to have a prediction for this Friday or the following Friday? Saturday?
Well, Bolanos and Carbajal make probably the best striking team. I'd say 2-1 Rhinos, and then 1-0 to Virginia Beach, just because, well, they're fighting for pride.
They are, absolutely. But I don't think they're gonna see much.
I think we can put 6 points on the table, get first place, run away with it.
Definite 3, hopefully 4, even more so for 6 would be great. George, you stay on the line, all right, buddy? We've got to take a break now. 222-9393 is the phone number here on the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show if you want to join us. The Rhinos on the upside of a 3-1 decision tonight out at John Griffin Stadium in Minnesota as the Rhinos beating the Minnesota Thunder 3-1. This is Raging Rhino Soccer on the all-new Fickle 93.3 FM.
The Connolly Printing Company congratulates the Rochester Raging Rhinos on their 10th anniversary season. Just like the Rhinos, at Connolly Printing, they continue to strive for excellence. They've been serving Rochester for over 100 years, and their goal is meeting today's sophisticated printing demands head-on. Connolly Printing's technology and computer graphics, pressroom and bindery equipment, as well as their employees' expertise, will guarantee you're a satisfied, loyal customer well into the future, turning your printing nightmares into creative dreams. Connolly Printing. 426-4150. We lead very busy lives these days. So many demands, so much stress. There's just not enough time to get everything done. Come home to stress-free apartment living at Blueberry Hill. Luxury and excellence are built right in. Amenities above and beyond other rental units are included. Concierge service is just a phone call away. Let them take care of you. Call 889-7250 and make an appointment and see why Blueberry Hill makes life worth living.
Every generation of Volvo has been committed to safety and saving lives. Visit Best Volvo, like Volvo owner Peter Parks.
I was in a horrendous accident where an oncoming driver had fallen asleep and hit me head on. I'm absolutely convinced I would have never walked away had it been any other car.
Test drive the Volvo XC90, the world's safest SUV, only at Best Volvo, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together to save lives. 1500 University Avenue.
Hi, this is Joe Giuliano, Rhinos radio color commentator and host of the Soccer Report. Join us every Tuesday at 6:30 for full coverage of the Rochester Raging Rhinos, Major League Soccer, and international soccer news. Give us a call every Tuesday at 346-3000. It's the Soccer Report.
I'm Tom Rosati from Mallier Chevrolet Buick. You know, the guy who always says yes. Now with a lot more to say yes to. Mallier is Rochester's newest GM certified used car dealer with more than 200 General Motors certified used vehicles in stock. And with bumper-to-bumper warranty on these vehicles, you'll have the same peace of mind you have with a new car or truck. So take the short drive to Mallier in Honeywell Falls or check us out at Mallier.com.
Mallier Chevrolet Buick. We always say yes.
And welcome back to the Nextel Direct Connect post-game call-in show driven by Auto Depot USA. Nextel, done, and Auto Depot USA, unbeatable prices, unbeatable reputations as the Rhinos 3-1 winners at Minnesota tonight, extending their unbeaten streak to 6 matches now. I can count 6 matches now as the Rhinos winning again 3-1, tied for first place with the Richmond Kickers. That will be their opponent this upcoming weekend as they travel down to Richmond Friday night. That game, an 8 o'clock start, will be on the air for the pregame show at 7:30. Don't forget you can watch that. You listen to the pregame show at 7:30. Crank your radio up to listen to Don's call of the game and watch it on Fox Soccer Channel from 8 o'clock after the game. Everybody will have seen it, so you gotta call in and talk to me on the postgame show. I'll have, actually I won't have Joe Giuliano. He'll be on vacation then. And then the following night, Saturday night, the Rhinos at Virginia Beach, at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex to take on the Mariners. So 2 games in the south of Mason-Dixon line in Virginia. The Rhinos have a chance to pull away from the pack now. 6 points on the line for this road trip, and then they will come back. And their next home game, start of another busy week for the Rhinos, Saturday, July 30th at the Richmond Kickers. That is Italian night at Frontier Soccer Stadium. It's another Saturday car display night, and if you need tickets for that match, go to Wendy's. We'll give you a buy one, get one free coupon for tickets. Again, for that Saturday, July 30th match against the Richmond Kickers. Soccer ball giving away that night, courtesy of Chase Pickin. Then don't go too far. The very next night, July 31st, the Colorado Rapids of the MLS in town on Chevy Car Display Night. That Sunday night start is at 6 o'clock as the Rhinos taking on the MLS Colorado Rapids in a friendly. And then that same week, Wednesday night, August 3rd, the Rhinos at home to take on the MLS Metro Stars. And that one for the U.S. Open Cup, that will be the fourth round match. The winners moving on to the quarterfinals. The losers just go home. And that'll about do it. That's the Rhinos schedule this week. The Rhinos winning 3-1 tonight in Minnesota. We want to thank you for joining us here on the postgame show. I want to thank my producer, Camp David, and for Don Stevens back in Minnesota. My name is Tom Craver. Thank you very much for listening. The Rhinos winning 3-1. We'll see you on Friday night at 7:30. Have a great night, folks.
This is Random Radio, Fickle 93.3 FM.